Well, hello, everybody. Hooray for Hollywood. It is the most anticipated night here on Teacup for One, which is kind of disappointing when you consider that we're like less than a quarter of the way through the year. But it doesn't matter because this has quickly become the fan favorite show. It is the Oscars prediction show. I am so excited. Tonight we are going to bring you an assortment of some of our favorite panelists to ever grace the silver screen here at Teacup for One. And we are just going to go through, hold on, the entire list. Every single nominated movie will kind of be touched on or discussed tonight as people lock in their votes, and we'll see who ends up being the reigning champion in the Teacup for One Oscar prediction pool, whatever. We have two people here tonight who have won previously. We'll see if they can lock in like a second victory. We'll see if someone new will swoop in and take that title for them. I've never won, but maybe this is the year. Who knows? We'll find out together. So yeah, how it's going to work is we're going to go through each category one at a time. And people are just going to tell us who they think is going to win. And we'll just see what kind of discussion that ignites. And the really fun thing, one of my personal favorite parts about this is when we get to a category full of films that no one has ever seen, just seeing how people pick, why they make the picks they make. Is it because the title sounds really good? Is it because like they read a one-line synopsis of the movie and think like, I like basketball, I'll vote for that? Honestly, those are the blind picks that have kind of, I don't want to say made people win in the past, but it has like leveraged the points. So I'm super thrilled to discuss all of the things tonight, but let's bring in some of our panelists. Who's going to be first? Let's see. You know what? Here we go. I'm excited for all the guests, but we have not had this friend here on the channel for a while. So let's give a big round of applause for the triumphant return of Lauren from Castles, Capes, and Clones, everyone. Lauren, it's so good to have you back. Welcome back.
Thank you. I couldn't miss this one. I could not.
You have a title
I
to
was going to drag myself out of a hospital if I were there.
I'm so excited to have you back. I'm excited to hear your picks. But since we're on the red carpet right now, who are you wearing?
Oh, actually, one of your national treasures. You Live, You Learn. Alanis Morissette.
I did not realize how many Alanis fans there were in the world.
Oh my God, I am the biggest fan.
Seemingly everybody is. I do social media for a choir here in the Toronto area. And so just for this month, I've been running a March Madness bracket to see who everyone's favorite Canadian musician is. And like Alanis she's pulling in the votes. Like I'm scared she's going to knock Shania Twain out of the current matchup. And we want Shania to advance. So if there are any Shania fans watching, I encourage you to vote. Because I want Shania to advance. But you're welcome to vote for Alanis if you want, Lauren. You're welcome to vote.
I want to vote. I vote Alanis all the time, every day, all night.
As do lots of people. You live, you learn, you learn. So, Lauren, what is your biggest Oscar upset in the history of the Oscars? Was there ever a category, an actor, something that you felt deserved the win that didn't get it? Because for me, it's always going to be Wizard of Oz in 1939, losing Best Picture to Gone with the Wind, which has aged like milk. Well, like buttermilk, because still kind of useful, but still bitter and sour.
I'm going to go with that as well because Wizard of Oz deserved everything. They took a book which I love, but made it better.
Yes,
like usually they do not make. Usually the movie is not as good as the book, but in the Wizard of Oz's case, I will say it is 10 times better than the book.
Amen. They made improvements. They created a movie that made so many other movies like make the choices they made. Like this year, half these Oscar like Best Picture nominees switched from black and white to color for reasons the directors probably thought made sense. And all that's because of Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz is the first movie to ever do that. People think it's the first movie that had color. That's not necessarily the case, but it's the first movie that went from black and white to color. So Chris Nolan should be thanking them. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'll get off my soapbox. Let's bring in our next friends. Who is it going to be? You know what? Here we go. We have Hollywood's power couple. We have Ben and Anna on the red carpet. Hello, Ben and Anna. How are you tonight?
Hello. It's great to be back, and it's great to have Anna's been so excited because she was a special guest for the game on the
Yeah.
Anatomy of a Fall episode. I
And
think.
she won, right?
And
I
she,
think I did. I love my courtroom drama.
now, I want to make something very explicitly clear. We have not discussed our choices.
No, we did it separately.
We made it. We don't want to have like identical lists, and we would probably have disagreements about some
Yeah.
stuff anyway. But we have not looked at each other's thing at all, so this will be a
There's
surprise
at least
for
a
us.
couple of mine that I know different from yours.
There
I
you go.
appreciate that you're saving the disagreements for live on air. Like,
Yeah.
good-
It's gotta be.
I just finished watching Love Is Blind before this, so I'm
Oh,
very
I
into
watched it last night. Yeah.
it. Really? Yeah, I know. Like, poor Clay. Poor Clay.
Poor
Oh,
Clay.
no.
Yes, poor Clay. Clay made the
No.
mature choice.
Poor Clay's mom.
Oh yeah, well, yes, definitely poor Clay's mom.
Yeah.
Absolutely poor Clay's mom. But Clay honestly made me realize what's messed up with Love Is Blind is that they put them into this awful pressure cooker situation where it's like, how manipulative is it to make people try on the dresses and the suits? And if you're someone like Clay who has found someone that you have a connection with, but at the same time you know you're not ready for marriage, like it's lose-lose.
He did the right thing. He should have done it earlier than he did.
It's true. He should have pulled a Jimmy. He should have said before.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also justice for Jimmy. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I can do a separate live show about Love Is Blind. Anyway, Ben and Anna, who are you two wearing tonight on the red carpet?
Oh, you have a cool
I'm
thing.
wearing my Campion sweater,
So instead of champion, it
yeah.
says Campion
like Jane Campion.
for Power of the Dog. Remember, Matt? We did that episode
yeah.
together.
We did.
I
That
got
was
my
the thing that
Campion
happened.
gear.
And I'm wearing high luxury designers Frank and Oak.
Lovely.
Made this,
Someone
this
bought it for
hoodie.
you.
and I think you bought it for
Yeah.
me. Yeah, for
Oh,
Christmas.
nice. It's a very
Yeah.
nice hoodie. It's a very nice Campion sweater as well. So, who is your biggest Oscar upset in the history of the Oscars for both of you?
1988 lead actress should have been Glenn Close, was Jodie Foster. No disrespect to Jodie Foster. Big fan of Jodie Foster. But Glenn Close in Dangerous Liaisons is
Ooh.
the
Ooh.
performance.
Jodie could win again this year with
She
Naiad.
If
Wait, is she
anyone, if
nominated?
anyone has her #1 for Naiad, I will automatically respect that so
You
much
never
because that's
know.
bold. But yeah, should have been Glenn.
I'm gonna just to rile feathers a little, ruffle feathers and rile people up a little bit. I think that Austin Butler was very deserving
Yeah,
for
Yeah.
his role as
But a good
Elvis.
answer.
Yeah, he was my vote last
Fraser
year.
was great. I mean, I'm
No,
glad.
no.
I love to see him get nominated to win an award. I just, I was just so, from 2022, Matt, how big I was on that movie. So it would have been fun to see him win. But he's young and spry, and he's got plenty of chances, probably down the road. So
Maybe. I stand by what I said last year. And the reason I gave him my vote was I think Elvis was his once in a lifetime performance. I don't know that I'll be interested
was
in anything
thinking
else he
too.
does. But like Brendan Fraser has more good in him to
more,
go forward.
more good.
More good work. Does
Matt,
Austin-
have you seen Dune Part 2 yet?
Absolutely not.
We
I-
talked about Dune at Lisa's Play a little.
we did.
It's fun to see Austin playing a very villainous, very different role. And he modulated his voice this time not to sound like Elvis, but to sound like Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah.
So he just sounds like a Skarsgård. He sounds more like his son than any of his actual sons do.
Yeah,
It's very
love
impressive.
he's great.
Yeah.
Team
I would
Austin.
love to see Austin try to deprogram himself being Swedish now for the next.
Yeah. It's going to take a while.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited to have you both here and to just talk all the movies with you. Oh, I had a guest in the waiting room and they're gone now. So let's bring in another guest. It's a teacup for one favorite. It's Alex Titai, everybody.
Hey, folks.
Hello.
Nice to see you guys. And I don't think we've ever actually seen each other on camera
No,
before.
I just
It's
commented.
nice to see you. I've seen your messages. Yeah.
I just popped
Nice
up
to put
in
a
the phone.
face.
Now I'm here.
Lauren, nice to see you again. It's been a hot
Yeah,
second.
I know. Lots of health problems.
Well,
So-
sorry to hear that, but I'm happy to hear
I was
to see you here today.
Yeah, I was going to drag myself here no matter what.
Oh, glad you did.
So, Alex, who are you wearing tonight on this red carpet?
Could you define the question? Was I supposed to skin somebody before this event? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, who did you skin, Matt? Well, we'll start there, and I'll see what I can give you.
I stole this from Angelo D'Angelo.
Okay, of Office fame.
No, of Wedding
Okay.
and Disco fame. That interactive wedding show the two of us were a part of last year. This was the
Okay.
I kept it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm
Um,
wearing Amazon's Best, as paid for by Lee Siegel of New Works Productions. Thank you, Lee.
I'm wearing knit heritage,
Okay.
authentic, traditional brand, medium, tailored clothier. Cloth. I don't know how to pronounce that. Clothier.
What about the pin? What about the pin?
Clothier.
What about the pin?
Like the tag.
They're like,
I'm also wearing little known but much deserved Teacup for One movie club
Ooh.
paraphernalia
Yes.
that you can't find on Etsy because it's exclusive. Only those who are worthy are worthy. Much like Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Alex, who's your biggest Oscar snub upset in the history of the Oscars? Anyone who was nominated you think should have won that did not?
Probably, but I've forgotten by now.
Well.
Yeah, probably somebody last year. I don't tend to tune into the Oscars. I only really tuned in once, and that was last year because of this movie club thing. So yeah, I don't tend to pay attention too much. Yeah.
I hope you win.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's bring in our next guest. It's Jeanette, everybody.
Hello.
Jeanette.
Hi.
So good to have you. Who are you wearing?
A fuzzy jacket, and then underneath is Marilyn Manson. I'm wearing Marilyn Manson, not the person, just his merchandise.
Brilliant. And what is your biggest Oscar snub and or upset from the history?
I don't have a specific one. I guess my biggest gripe is that Johnny Depp doesn't have an Oscar. there's my big complaint.
What would you have given it to him for?
I suppose Jack Sparrow, but they're not gonna do it for that. But that's really what he should get it for, right?
Like the fact that he even got the nomination is kind of a win for that movie.
I just think he's a really good actor. I don't know. It's like one of those actors that you're like, you should have one, right? Like somewhere in your history, you should have. I don't know. There's a few.
Like Annette Bening. I didn't realize she didn't have one.
Sure, I tried to watch that movie today, and that bored me to tears. I had to stop. It was hard. I wanted to like it so bad because I love Jodie Foster, but it was boring.
How much swimming is there? Is it just swimming? Is the whole movie just
There
swimming?
was a lot of swimming. Maybe not enough swimming. I don't know.
Paddling.
It was not. Yeah, it treaded water for sure.
Go Naiad.
It was no one else.
I think
Oh, it treaded water. I want to put that on a poster for Naiad.
That's about right.
All right, and let's bring in our next guest for tonight. You know him, you love him. It's Vince, everybody.
I love him. We love.
Hey
we know him.
everyone, how's it going?
Hey.
It's great to see you, Lauren. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
I know. It's a pleasure meeting you too.
Man,
Yeah.
I am so excited to be here. I'm excited to meet Lauren. I got movies to talk about. I can't wait.
Vince, who are you wearing tonight on the red carpet?
Who am I wearing? This is, I think this is George, the Walmart house brand.
But the finery of middle school dances everywhere.
I think so.
Amazing.
Only the best for you, Matt.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And Vince, what is your biggest historical Oscar upset? Who do you think should have won that did not win?
I think last year, RRR should have been nominated at the very least for Best Picture.
Ooh.
And I think it should have won Best Picture. But I guess it would have been Best International Film. But I think it should have cleaned up more. It got Best Song.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
I really want to see that movie. Looks
Oh, it
fantastic.
is so worth it.
I've heard good things from Vince.
I liked it.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I mean, I would still vote Everything Everywhere All at Once over that, but
Oh, yeah.
still.
Yeah, I would too.
Well, here we go. It is time. Issa will be joining us a little bit later, but until then, let's just dig into the list. So, once again, how it's going to work is we're just going to go category by category. if you are uninformed or if it's a category where you've seen absolutely nothing, just pick something and then tell us why. Again, like I said in the intro, that's like quickly become my favorite part of these shows is seeing what people pick, especially when there's categories that no one has seen anything in. So let's do it Oscar style. Let's open with like kind of a big category. Let's go with one of the supportings. Let's start with actress in a supporting role. Our options are Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks for The Color Purple, America Ferrera for that one speech in Barbie, Jodie Foster for Nyad, and Divine Joy Randolph in The Holdovers. Now, at one point, I'm going to go first. At one point, I was convinced that like Danielle Brooks was going to sweep everything because she was outstanding in The Color Purple. She was, I don't want to say she was the only good thing in The Color Purple, but she was one of the most enjoyable things in The Color Purple. And it kind of makes me sad that she hasn't won as much as I think she deserves to. But statistically, like Divine Joy Randolph seems to be winning literally everything for The Holdovers. And I watched that movie on the weekend, and it's my number 2 of the whole season. I adored them.
Oh.
Yes. And so if that's the only award it gets, I'm happy. So she gets my vote. So there it is. Lauren, who are you voting for?
I'm voting for Danielle Brooks.
Nice.
Because I thought that she was fantastic. She could have been Oprah's child. And I really liked it. I think that she deserves it. I'm going with my heart this year.
Go with your heart, Lauren. Go. And if I will be so happy if I'm wrong. Granted, I do want Divine Joy Randolph to win. But if Danielle Brooks wins, I won't cry, but I'll be happy for her. Ben, who's your pick?
Well, I put Divine Joy Randolph with Bullet. I think like you said, Matt, she's been winning all of these other awards throughout the year. There's just incredible momentum for her. And she is really wonderful in that movie. She kind of is like really like brings it all together, you know? I just think that to me, I feel like it's an easy choice. Yeah.
Yeah, even though like all of them gave, well, I didn't see Jodie, but all of them gave really good performances. Like,
I still want to see Color Purple. I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, and I haven't seen Nyad, but and America Ferrera was very good in her one monologue scene for Barbie, Matt, as you said. And yeah, I just thought that she was kind of like a really refreshing face and role in that movie, and I just think that. I can't see her going home without Oscar gold.
Agreed. Oh, and Martha agrees as well. Woot. Oh, I forgot to acknowledge who's here. All my cats are here. Hold on. Sabrina the cat was here. Sabrina only liked Barbie. She's going to play with Eliza while she watches the show. Now, Eliza also did not care for any of these movies. She liked Barbie because it was fun and pretty. Like her, Eliza is very pretty. She would look good in pink, but she won't let us put clothes on her. Martha says, good evening tonight. Yes, I'm looking forward to it as well. Ben says, hooray for Lauren. And Yoda's here. Woot. Hi, Yoda. All right.
Hello.
Anna, who's your pick?
Yeah, Divine. I think this to me would probably be the most like surprising upset if she lost. I think just with the momentum she has.
Is it Divine?
I think it's
Divine.
I think it might be.
I've been saying Divine.
I've been saying Divine as well.
I don't know, but I think she's gonna win. And I think I really like The Holdovers. I think she's great in it. I think it's to me, that's a really strong example of what a good supporting role is. Because I think sometimes there's a lot of like category confusion where we'll watch something and it'll be like, that could be lead or it could go supporting. She's 100% supporting, but I think such a memorable, like intrinsic part of what makes that movie so good.
Oh, definitely. Now, and I feel like, yeah, actually, it is a perfect supporting role because you kind of need her to balance the two leads.
Yeah.
With all of their ridiculousness, which she even kind of says, like, I can't take you too.
Yeah.
I need a break. And she is the break. She's the break that us as an audience needs from them and their joyous terribleness. Alex, who's your pick?
Well, let me get into it. So, So, I'm thinking to myself, like, what am I going to do here? Am I going to vote strategically to try to, like, maximize my chances of, voting for the most likely to win? Or am I going to vote with my heart and just stick to my heart here, and go my way. Odds be damned, and so I'm going to go my way, right? Because that's more interesting, I think. And then if I'm going my way, I can really only speak to, in this instance, the Oppenheimer and Barbie nominee, because I haven't seen any of the other films. So between the two, so off the top, I was like, well, probably America Ferrera. But then I kind of thought about it, and I was like, well, I liked Emily Blunt more. I had more fun watching her on screen and watch her do what she did.
I feel like
but
you're the
then,
only person who would ever say you had fun watching Oppenheimer.
I had a lot of fun watching Oppenheimer. It's a great film. Then I finally went back to America Ferrera because I thought to myself, well, hearkening back to our discussion about like the difference between like a supporting role versus a lead role, Emily Blunt is effectively the leading female role in that movie. I mean, you could debate that the communist girlfriend is just as much of a role, let's say, but she's Oppenheimer's romantic partner, significant other. So that's kind of where I'm feeling is. Not to say that is she a leading role in that movie? I don't know. But all in all, I think that considering what America Ferrera his role is in the Barbie film and how it very much is supporting the main female lead, which is whatever her name is, Margot, Barbie. I think on that reasoning, I have to give it to America. Not because I liked America better, but because as a supporting role, America did more work. Yeah. So about that.
I'm very happy America's getting at least one vote, maybe more. Let's move on to Jeanette. Is it America?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Looking in the wrong place here, buddy. No. No. So I had my original pick during our first episode was Divine Joy, and I'm going to hold that same vote for many of the reasons that Anna already said. Is that she is what a supporting role should be. Also, I didn't get to see Color Purple. I do love Danielle Brooks. I do not doubt that would be my number 2 choice. The other 3, I don't know. Nothing stuck with me. And after watching Jodie Foster today, it was just Jodie Foster being Jodie Foster. And I will say, to what Alex said, Florence Pugh should be in this category. Personally, I think that Emily Blunt could have maybe weaseled her way into lead, but Emily Blunt's performance, I don't even remember it. I don't even remember that she was in this movie. I remember a lot of other people more.
Tone? She was like, I don't like it.
I literally didn't even remember she was in this. Every time I look at this list, I'm like, oh yeah. So yeah, no, I'm going with Divine.
Love it. Vince, how about you?
Look, the only movie on this list I've seen is Oppenheimer. And the only Emily Blunt scene I remember from Oppenheimer is really when she's sassing the FBI close to the end. Yeah. And I think that was a strong performance there. I'm unfamiliar with this Danielle Brooks. Is she related to Albert Brooks?
Yes.
Well, okay. Maybe. Okay, that makes sense. And by association for Dave Osborne as well, because they're brothers. But nevertheless, I think I'm going to go with Divine Joy Randolph. Because she's been cleaning up. I've seen a few scenes from the movie Holdovers that she's in, and she seemed to do a good job. So I'm here to win. I'm not voting with my heart. I'm voting strategically. Divine Joy Randolph.
Nice. You could be the new champion this year, Vince. We'll find out.
That's what I'm here to do.
Yep. And the winner, I forgot to say, for the 3rd year in a row, will be taking home their very own shirt from my Etsy store. Because if I don't maintain sales, they'll shut me down. Well, that's not true. But all right.
Let's keep those sales.
Exactly. Keep the sales going. All right. What do we want to do next? No, we'll go to lead or supporting actor later. Let's go to a niche category. Let's go with sound.
Yeah.
Just called sound?
Well, yeah, just sound. Just sound.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. So
best sound goes to
this used
that
to be
one kid in the background.
This used to be 2 categories. I think it used to be sound
editing and
sound mixing. Yeah.
Then they just smushed it together. If I was more invested in that side of the industry, snubbed. Or
Willem Dafoe has to win Best Sound.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
So our options
nominated
For Best Sound, that's my upset.
No,
That's my upset.
So I have not seen most of these movies. So sound, it's The Creator. What is The Creator? Is that the movie with the android child? And
Yes.
Yeah, that's the.
Oh.
The guy that did Rogue One, the Star Wars movie, directed it. Gareth. There's a couple Gareths.
Gareth Edwards.
Gareth
Edwards.
Edwards.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Rogue One.
I did not see it. I distinctly remember the preview was there for Oppenheimer because I had to see it a bunch of times during my multiple attempts to achieve a Barbenheimer.
Right.
Yes. And I remember Alex at one point saying, this movie looks bad or something. You expressed disdain towards the movie. And the trailer, you were like, I want to watch this trailer again. Yes. So there's The Creator, there's Maestro, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Part 1? It's a sequel that has a Part 1? Okay.
Yes, but they dropped the Part 1 in home video, which is weird.
Yeah.
So now it just says Dead Reckoning. So I don't think there's going to be a Dead Reckoning Part 2. It was just Part 1.
Was there a cliffhanger ending? That
Yes.
Yes, it's half of a movie.
There's also a cliffhanger scene.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really good one. That's a really good stunt.
When he's hanging.
I hope there's no sequel, and it's just like the Super Mario
That's it.
movie when like Princess Peach or Daisy comes in and she's like, "There's another adventure."
Yes.
And then they go on the adventure, and we never found
You
out. what
never
it
see it.
I love that movie so much.
Oppenheimer and Zone of Interest. I'm voting Oppenheimer because like that's what it's going to be probably. All the tech will go to Oppenheimer. Let's go the reverse. Vince, what are you feeling for sound?
Haven't seen Zone of Interest. Never heard of The Creator. I'm going with Oppenheimer because they made the bomb go boom, and it was pretty satisfying to hear.
It was also like chilling when there was no sound for those few
It was
seconds.
silent, and then,
Yeah.
and then it was
Point.
boom.
If
That's
there
right.
was the best no sound.
It
I
was
think we
best
have
no
to
sound.
do that.
Actually, that makes me feel better about giving it my vote because I do like that as a choice.
You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
And I'll put that on
That's
the
what-
Oppenheimer poster.
That's what sound mixing's all about.
Jeanette, how about you?
So I originally had Oppenheimer picked, and until today, would have maintained that opinion. After watching Zone of Interest, I just don't see how anybody else gets it because it's one of the points of the entire film. The movie opens with like 2.5 minutes of just sound and like pitch blackness. I was kind of sad I didn't see it in movie theaters. Like astonishing. And the sound is a character, literally. We talk about that, but this literally, like, if you don't listen to the background, you won't get the story. So I'm going to say Zone of Interest.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. But I'm not going to change my vote because I wrote it down in pen. But anyway, Alex, what do you think?
Well, I want to thank Jeanette for recommending Zone of Interest. I haven't actually completed it. I watched about half of it up until the screen goes red. For those of you who've seen it, if you remember, yeah. But thus far, I agree with Jeanette's point in the sense that, the sound is super prominent in this film, and in the background is super important to pay attention to. Having said that, I don't know that I want to do a flip flop. Part of me thinks that if I finish seeing the movie, I may very well be on that same train and consider it.
Not a great way to phrase that when you're talking about Zone.
I mean, that's or it's the greatest way to phrase it, potato. But yeah, the Oppenheimer did a lot of cool stuff with sound as well. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know because I actually had I guess just because I actually saw it to completion, I'll give it to Oppenheimer. Even though, I'm thinking I would I might very well have voted for the Zone of Interest had I fully seen it before tonight.
All right, Anna, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I feel like the last few years it seemed very like a lot of movies have kind of just gone down the ballot winning everything. So I think in that regard, Oppenheimer might be the safe choice here, but I am also giving it to Zone of Interest. I think there just might be enough people who kind of watch it and sorry, the cat's freaking out.
Categories.
Yeah. No, I think Zone of Interest is amazing. I loved it. I think it's I mean, loved it is a weird thing to say about that movie, but I think it's
okay. Yeah.
And I think the sound is so prominent and it's so present, and it's such a big part of what makes that movie what it is. And I felt the same way about Under the Skin, like Glazer's last movie, and I think that one's just.
Is that the movie with Antonio Banderas?
No.
It's Scarlett Johansson as an alien. And it's actually, in terms of the filmmaking, very, very similar to Zone of Interest, even though thematically they're like completely different movies.
But
they're great to compare.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, I'm in.
Yeah, Zone of Interest.
Nice. Ben, how about you?
So my ballot's on my phone, and I did the Vanity Fair because I could save it to my phone.
Smart.
And once I voted on each one, it showed me percentages. And the percentage going for Oppenheimer is 56.
Yeah.
And my pick is also like Anna and Alex and Jeanette. Or Alex, did you say Oppenheimer? Or
I stuck with Oppenheimer, unfortunately.
So I've seen Zone of Interest twice. I'm fascinated by that movie, and I'm fascinated by the fact that it got this level of awards consideration, because I do think it's like a pretty formally daring movie, and it's a very unusual movie to get this kind of consideration. When Jonathan Glazer, the director, talked about it, and I'll just briefly say too, for those of you who haven't seen it, just like the kind of key idea of the movie is that it's set during the Holocaust, and there's a camp. There's Auschwitz, there's the concentration camp, and then there's a Nazi commander and his family that have this like very bucolic, like kind of beautiful little homestead on the other side of the wall of the camp. But you never cross visually into the camp; you only hear it. And so Glazer, the director, described the movie as two movies: the movie that you're seeing and the movie that you're hearing.
Yeah.
And because so much of, just like what Jeanette said, so much of what that movie is the sound. I think that voters, the safe choice, I think, is Oppenheimer, because it had a really tremendous mix and really thoughtful design. But there is no Zone of Interest without the sound design of that movie. And I think it's like very, very powerful. And I'm going to give it, I think that they might go for the like more sort of weird artistic choice with sound. So I'm going to say Zone of Interest.
You're all really selling me on Zone of Interest, which I was going to see anyway, but
Matt, we learned that the director, we don't want to hold you up too much, but he built a bunker 10 feet underground, and they set up cameras all over this house to film within the house that the actors couldn't see. They were like hidden cameras, so they could walk around the house freely. So the movie looks like Big Brother almost. Like it has like no there's no cinematic lighting. It's just like cameras, and he had focus pullers in the bunker with him. It's like such a weird way to make a movie. It's very unsettling.
Watch it and read how they did it.
Yes.
It's wild.
Yeah.
So
I'm holding us up, but I gotta say,
I did Sandra Hüller as well, right?
And it's Sandra Hüller from Anatomy of a Fall. That's right.
Wow.
She's fantastic in that movie too. Yeah.
My heart vote might actually be for her, but we'll get there when we get there. Lauren, who are you voting for sound?
All right, so I'm. First of all, I just want to say, I'm not voting for Oppenheimer for any category. I'm anti this year. So I'm going to actually. I agree with the Zone of Interest. I thought they did some really interesting things with sound, so I am going with it.
Nice. All right. Next up.
Wait. Why do you hate Oppenheimer, Lauren?
No reason.
Okay.
Alex, we're on the right side of the screen. We're in a very lonely. We're in a lonely segment of the show
Right
that
side of
enjoyed
screen, right
Oppenheimer.
Oh, it's true. It's that. It's that side.
I think Ben's looking at you.
Oppenheimer side.
I just decided not to vote for Oppenheimer.
I like that. I go against the grain.
I'm doing the
Yeah.
same thing with
I'm going
Naya.
against the grain.
Natalie.
Let's go to something visually stunning. Let's do makeup and hairstyling.
I love this journey, Matt, that you're taking us on. It's like let's
No,
This
I have to like
zigzag.
go through and figure out where
We're zigzagging.
Yeah.
tremendous. Is it costume?
makeup and hairstyling.
Makeup and hairstyling. So for this, I don't even know what some of these movies are. We have
I
Golda.
know.
Is Golda about the wife from Fiddler on the Roof? Who knows? Maybe it's an origin story. We have Maestro. We have Oppenheimer, Poor Things and Society of the Snow. I'm going to wait to hear what everyone else says before I lock in my vote, because that was a mistake I made last time, because I would have said Zone of Interest. But again, it's a pen, so commitment. Let's start with Jeanette this time. Jeanette, who do you think deserves makeup and hairstyling?
Well, I'll point out what I pointed out before. Why is Barbie not on here? That seems strange. She's a doll that you do her hair, and she wears a lot of makeup, so that's weird. But my original vote was Poor Things. My only consideration would be Maestro, but I'm going to stay with Poor Things.
All right. Vince, what are you feeling?
My heart is telling me Poor Things.
Are you listening?
And, my brain is also telling me Poor Things. I think it's going to do it. I think Willem Dafoe's prosthetics are better than Maestro's.
Bradley Cooper's.
You got to go big or go home with the prosthetics, and they certainly went big with Willem Dafoe's.
They did. All right, Lauren, what do you think?
I'm actually going to go with Poor Things as well.
Yeah.
I think that Willem Dafoe's makeup. I'm honestly, though, not thrilled with anything, but Poor Things probably I would vote for.
All right. Ben.
I think I'd like to see Poor Things win, because Dafoe's prosthetics were awesome, and also Emma Stone's look, like the long black hair, the way that they kind of like made her face look a little like it just gave. I think that it would be great to see that movie win for that category. I think they're probably going to give it to Maestro just because it's like, look, that handsome young Bradley Cooper. Now he's old and his nose is sagging.
Saggy nose. That's the best description.
He's got the saggy nose, but the beautiful baby blue eyes are still there. You can't hide those. I think they're going to be like, wow, they made him look like Leonard Bernstein so well, and they're going to give it to Maestro, I guess.
All right, Anna, what do you think?
Yeah, I said Maestro as well. I think just kind of charting the like young to old, I think is going to win some people over, just how they do that. And like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like Dafoe is obviously in the prosthetics, but I don't know. I think the Oscars tend to go for most over best sometimes. And I think that just the fact that it's prosthetics, the whole movie, like really there's never a moment in Maestro where you're not looking at some sort of prosthetic or like makeup, high intensity thing. So that's just kind of my guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Nice. You know what? I think I agree with what everyone has said. So I'm going Maestro as well. Specifically, I was thinking because of the old age makeup.
Yeah.
Yep. Martha agrees. Here we are. Alex, what do you think for makeup and hairstyling?
Well, one, I think it's pretty rude that you decided to hear everybody but my take before deciding to lock in your vote. But that aside, I would also put a little counter argument to what Anna just said, just to say that I believe Poor Things also, for the most part, every like scene is not looking at a prosthetic per se, but you're looking at like some makeup, hair, design.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think that the fact that Cooper's always in some sort of prosthetic, it just feels like it's more present to me.
Sure. And yeah, so to kind of lock in my side, I only saw Oppenheimer and Poor Things. And yeah, between the two, I can't really think of, aside from maybe an argument for the paper mache stealing a win from Oppenheimer.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I'd have to guess that Poor Things probably is more of a standout in the makeup and hairstyling department. And so that will be my vote.
Nice. I feel like Poor Things.
Oh, Vince has a hand.
Oppenheimer. Oh, I was going to say, I'm not going to vote for Poor Things all night. Well, we'll see. Vince, what do you think?
I just want to make a little addition in the defense of Poor Things. I believe it featured several prosthetic micro penises throughout the film that seemed pretty accurate to me. So.
I kind of take offense at the term micropenis being used here. Those are perfectly average-sized phalluses upon my inspection. But
I guess I got to watch it a second time.
But aside from that, maybe you saw it on a particularly small screen, Vince. Maybe that's what you're.
That's possible.
As Yorgos intended.
But Can I point out that none of us saw Society of the Snow? I take it none of us.
Is it
know?
Cannibals?
Yeah.
It's about the
Uruguayan
Andes,
soccer
yeah,
team.
the Uruguayan,
Or
yeah.
or something. Yeah.
It's so there's
Oh,
face,
that's
fancy
what
ice makeup on their
Ooh.
face, so
Yeah.
that might be
I
who
wanna
wins.
see that.
Ooh.
I
Ice
forgot, I forgot that's what the name of that movie was. So I was
Yeah,
like,
well, I think there were actually 2 that came out this past year about it, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like there was another one on some other platform that was
oh.
not as like esteemed. But I didn't realize. I was like, that sounds familiar. I just looked it up. I was like, yeah, they have like ice makeup on their face, so there is probably a good chance that could win.
Best
Nice.
icy face.
I have no context for what that movie is. It sounds.
You've never heard about the soccer team that crash landed in the
Yeah,
mountains and
they
they had to
Yeah.
cannibalize each other?
Yeah, the musical Cannibal.
Christina Ricci TV show Yellow Jack.
Oh,
So
similar.
that's
They did a movie before with Ethan Hawke called The Lie.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, that inspired Yellow Jackets for sure, but Yellow Jackets is definitely a sexier version of it.
Yeah, and the South Park musical Cannibal is, I think, based on it as well.
Cannibal the
Not inspired by it.
Cannibal's based on the
Trey
Donner
Isn't it the Donner
family,
Pass?
right?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Cannibalism's cannibalism.
We don't condone cannibalism.
When they're
here.
done for sport.
I want to make that very clear
Well, I mean, it's
to the
survival.
viewers.
That's the quote of the show.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I just thought
That's-
that maybe since there's some sort of like real crazy, like I was like, are any of these really crazy makeup like wild? Like I know prosthetics, but like makeup,
Right.
and I didn't know what that one was about, but it
Has
looks like
any
it could
Oscar
win.
contending movie ever had cannibalism since Silence of the Lambs, or is this the first?
That's a great question. I
don't know.
can make it one offhand.
Probably, I would assume that the answer is yes, but yeah, I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Didn't Army Hammer get in trouble for cannibalism?
Yeah, but that wasn't in a movie.
Okay. But was he featured in an Oscar nominated film?
I don't think.
Oh, he
I don't
was.
think so.
was he?
Lone
Yeah,
Ranger?
Social
No.
Network.
Is what?
Has there been a good cannibalism movie?
A good
Social
one?
Network, Lone Ranger. I think Lone Ranger got like effects or makeup. Lone Ranger got one of those craft awards.
Does it count if
That's
somebody bites somebody else and draws blood and tastes the blood? Is that cannibalism?
I know that's
Taste
vampirism.
blood.
Although, wait, is vampirism
that's
the same as
vampirism.
cannibalism or not? Because vampires
Yeah.
are.
I don't think it's the same.
I think
All
it's-
vampires are cannibals, but not all cannibals are vampires.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I don't think vampirism is cannibalism because they're not people anymore. They're
Yeah,
vampires. It's like
Zombies are
Valid.
cannibals.
cannibalism.
true.
Hmm.
I think it has to be human on human.
I agree. You know, yeah, you're right.
Or yeah,
That's the way
same
I
thing
like
on
it.
Same thing.
We'll do a whole show about this.
You could do a cannibal movie miniseries, Matt. If you wanted.
What was that, Ben?
I
You
like
could
how
do
this
a
is
cannibal
not
movie miniseries if you want.
That
makeup
would be-
and hairstyling to vampirism versus cannibalism.
Well, moving on. Well, we talked about Society of the Snow. It's also nominated for International Feature Film. What does everyone think is going to win for this? The options are low cap. Oh, I'm going to mispronounce.
Wait, what's the category?
International Feature Film.
International feature
Okay.
film.
International Feature
You
Film.
kind of breeze past that.
Oh yeah, no, and
Yeah.
you reeled me in, so thank you, Alex.
You're welcome.
Have a nice. Lo Capitano, I think that's how you say it. Sure. Perfect Days, Society of the Snow, The Teacher's Lounge, or Zone of Interest. I'm voting for Zone of Interest because I want to win. So yeah, Ben, what are you feeling for this category?
This is a fascinating category this year because there's like multiple movies where the director of the film is from a different country than where the film is like predominantly
Right?
set. So Wim Wenders, a German director, great director of Paris, Texas, and Wings of Desire. He made Perfect Days, which is the Japanese entry this year. So it's set in Japan about a Japanese character. I haven't seen it yet. I really want to. I think Anatomy of a Fall would have won this easily if they had put it up for qualification. But France decided to
I
put
thought
up a movie
yeah.
called The Taste of Things with Juliette Binoche, which was very well
I've heard
reviewed
it's really good.
about cooking, but it didn't even. I think it was shortlisted, but it didn't get a nomination because Zone of Interest is the only Best Picture nominee. Logically, I would say, well, it's got to be the best of the international films. I think so. That's why I'm putting it there. Plus, it's a great movie.
I thought you were gonna have a twist. Like logically, it would be this, but Society of the Snow has cannibalism.
That's right. Yeah, that would have been a good twist.
Does that logic follow though, Ben? Because isn't it the case that certain international films are inherently not eligible for Best Picture nominations, or is that not true? Are all international? Oh, okay.
Every movie eligible? Like that screens in a theater? Is that?
Yeah, I think it's like kind of minimal qualification. You have to have like a certain amount of a run in theaters, I think, even if you're a streaming film.
But like Society of the Snow could have been nominated for Best Picture.
Yes.
Had it received the vote.
Okay, yeah, no, I didn't. I assumed that internet, just similar to animated films can't. I'm assuming animated films are never eligible for Best Picture. So
it's happened very rarely, and it doesn't happen enough. I think Beauty and the Beast.
I was going to say Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast was the first,
right?
Up was the second, I think.
Toy
Story 3.
There might have been Toy Story 3 might have been.
Yeah, Toy Story 3 was nominated. I think those might be the only three that got Best Picture nominations. In addition to Best Animated didn't exist when Beauty and the Beast was up, but yeah,
it does happen, but it's super rare.
Yeah.
Okay, so in principle, these aren't for the most part exclusive categories. Interesting.
Yeah.
Anna, what's your vote?
Zone of Interest.
Zone of Interest, nice.
Like I said, I think it's a great movie. I think it would be a very good winner. Yeah.
Nice.
I haven't
Alex?
seen the others, but I want to. But I'm going with Zone of Interest.
Yeah, I'm interested in especially Society of the Snow. Now that I know what it is, show me cannibals.
Nom 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 nom.
Nom nom nom.
It's it's the only film I've seen on the list, so I have to by default vote for it.
You have no choice. It's true. Jeanette.
It's Zone of Interest for sure. My heart and my mind.
Vince.
My gambler's instinct is telling me Zone of Interest. So I haven't seen anything on this list, but I'm going with that. And also based on, the recommendations of my peers here. So I'm sure it's going to clean up.
Good logic. Good logic. Lauren?
I haven't seen it, but I have to vote for it because I'm pro-Asian. Because I am Asian. And that would be Perfect Days, from Japan.
Nice.
I've heard great things about it. I really would like to see it. Yeah.
I actually do want to see it. I just haven't had the chance to watch it.
All right. Next, we're going to go for. No, we don't want to go there yet. No. Okay. Let's do score. Original score. Yeah, not song. We'll get there. But original score. Our options are American Fiction, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. I'll go last. We'll start with Vince. Vince, what do you think? What's the score?
The score, it's got to go to Robbie Robertson, Killers of the Flower Moon. I think it's subtle, but it works. The guitar works very well for what's going on. It feels like a reimagination of the classic Western score, so to speak. And strategically, it would be a posthumous award, which that happens, Heath Ledger. So it's got to go to Robbie.
All right. Jeanette, what do you think?
I have Poor Things down. I love how that score evolves with her through the movie, and it stands out. It's very unique. So that's where I'm going.
Cool. Alex?
I'm gonna copy Vince here. I'm going with Killers of the Flower Moon, I think. I think I don't tend to remember scores very often. I'm a fan of a good score, but that tends to be an in the moment kind of experience for me. And when I walk away, I tend to be left with ideas, thoughts, characters, but not the music. And Killers of the Flower Moon is not an exception to that. But from what I can vaguely recollect, I can remember liking it.
Nice. I think by that same logic, I'm going to cast my vote. Even though I said I wasn't going to vote for Poor Things at all, I think I'm going to give my vote to Poor Things because I do remember the score standing out to me throughout the movie. Just it made me feel even more uncomfortable than the movie was already making me feel. And for that same logic by which I voted,
It's
exactly.
not comforting.
Like that, nope. That's why I voted for All Quiet on the Western Front last year, because the score really stood out to me to evoke feeling. And it wasn't, there weren't nice feelings, but it did its job. And that was the same thing with Poor Things. So, yeah, it gets my vote. Lauren, what do you think?
Well, I'm going for nostalgia. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Yes, John
Whenever I
Williams.
hear that Indiana Jones theme, I get all the feels. See, I'm getting all the feels right
now. Hannah, what do you think?
So I should say, I will not be upset at all if Killers of the Flower Moon wins this. I will be very happy if it does, but I'm saying Oppenheimer.
Ooh. Nice.
Oh, look, the first Oppenheimer with this.
It's a great score. So kind of the same thing. I really remember that score. I think it's really strong. I don't know. I love it.
Nice.
Gotta go with it.
Ben, what do you think?
In Oppenheimer, Niles Bohr, played by the late great Kenneth Branagh.
Wait a minute, is he dead?
Says to a young Oppenheimer, "Can you hear the music?" And I think the Academy is going to answer with a resounding yes, Matt, and give the Academy Award to Ludwig Göransson for his score for Oppenheimer.
I love that. Wait, is Kenneth Branagh dead?
No.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I was like, what?
Ben wouldn't be here if you.
No, I know.
None of us would be here.
I love that man.
I feel bad for trashing him over the weekend when I was talking to you. Now I didn't realize you loved Kenneth.
I love Kenneth.
You trashed Kenneth Branagh?
I do often. Yes.
I like all of these scores a lot. Maybe barring, I thought American Fiction score was fine, but I don't really know what it's doing here. Like Indiana Jones, we're familiar with it, but it's John Williams, and it's nice to honor him. Yeah. And I love the Killers of the Flower Moon score, and I thought the Poor Things score was great. I've been listening to it, just separate from the movie.
I wish I remembered the Poor Things score.
There's great tracks in there.
I remember lots of strings.
That movie, by the way, on Disney Plus now. You can watch Poor Things on Disney Plus.
In Canada, y'all get the wildest stuff on Disney Plus there. It's bizarre.
Oh no, it's
Pam
great.
and Tommy on Disney Plus to this day shocks my brain. I can't compute that.
So Bella Baxter is now a Disney princess.
I'll take it. What are they? I'm gonna Disney bound as her to the parks.
In which outfit? Which stage?
I love the little yellow one that she walks around when she's eating all the ice cream.
Oh yeah, that is a nice one. I like the blue dress, but that's when she's Tiffany and not Bella. Or whatever the first name is.
Yeah.
Tiffany.
Victoria.
What a throwback.
Yeah. For those who weren't here last week, I couldn't remember what her name was pre-Bella, so I just decided it was Tiffany. So.
That's good.
Justice for Tiffany. Let's talk about adapted screenplay, which is just it's such a weird category. How they're so loosey-goosey with some things, like who can be supporting versus who can be lead actors. And then when it comes to adapted screenplay, it's like, hey, Barbie exists. Mm-hmm. So for her to have a movie, it's adapted.
Yeah, she's adapted, but Maestro isn't.
Exactly.
What?
Well, I picture them just they have this image of Greta Gerwig picking up a Barbie box and reading the back of it, and that's the inspiration for her screenplay adapted. Anyway, adapted screenplays are American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Zone of Interest. I'm going to go with American Fiction because statistically it sounds like that's what's probably going to win, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. I thought the writing was a testament to the strength of the film, and in a lot of ways, it's a movie about writing, so there's a meta quality to it that I really enjoyed. So yeah, I won't be sad if it wins. I won't be angry if it wins, and it is kind of a strategic vote on my part, but my heart's going with it. Even though if I was voting as an Academy voter, I would have voted for Barbie. But right now, in the interest of winning, maybe it's American Fiction. Lauren, what do you think?
I'm going for Barbie.
Good.
I like Barbie. I think that it deserves to win something. So I'm going to go with Barbie.
Love it. Ben?
Matt, I'm with you. I think it's going to be American Fiction. It won the People's Choice Award at TIFF this past year. I think
did it?
Yeah, I think it's a very kind of, I think crowds really love it. It's like a very crowd pleasing movie. I think the satire, it's very like, it's a very like the subject of it's very ripe for satire, and I think that the Academy's going to want to honor that. But I think what's kind of funny about that too is that it kind of, if you've seen American Fiction, it winning a bunch of like prestigious awards is kind of reinforcing the point of the movie, which is sort of funny. It's kind of like built into the whole thing, so that's kind of fun. It's not my favorite of the choices, but I think it's going to win.
Nice. Anna, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm the same.
All the same
we're thinking
ones.
so many of the same things. I think American Fiction has been doing really well in this category, and I think, like we said, it's a movie where I think it's crowd pleasing, but it's not really leading the contention in a lot of categories. So I feel like there are going to be a lot of people who say, I really like that movie. I want it to get something. This is the thing it's going to get. I wouldn't vote for it if I was a voter myself. I think the Oppenheimer script is really good. I think The Zone of Interest is probably not thought of as a super...
Script.
I'm getting to that. But I think The Zone of Interest is probably not thought of as a very like screenplay heavy movie because it's not very dialogue heavy. But I think it's really good. And I think just from what I understand, its work as an adaptation is really good. Same thing with Barbie. I think the adapted part of the screenplay to me is what's almost most impressive with Barbie, because so much of what like Margot and Greta have talked about is like negotiating with Mattel and kind of having to like work around certain things and get things into the movie. And I think making this a movie that they can get made, but still retaining that like artistic direction of it, I think a lot of that originates from the script. And I think it's good. I would be like, I think this is an overall pretty strong category, but yeah, I'm saying American.
Oh, can I really? I'm so sorry to interject.
Yeah.
I just remembered that the Oppenheimer script is really fascinating because he wrote it.
Yeah.
Nolan wrote it all in first person, which you're not supposed to do in a screenplay. So it's like, I'm Oppenheimer. I'm building a bomb. Like all of the scene descriptions are from his perspective. You can read it online. It's really weird, but it could win. I don't know. Let's see.
I almost don't want it to win because of that.
Yeah, it's a little much, huh? It's a little rich.
I saw a video like of I think Emily Blunt or maybe it was Cillian Murphy just showing their Oppenheimer script and how it's all printed on red paper so that it can't be photocopied. So just the combination of first person plus red paper.
The audacity to prevent theft or illegal dissemination. What a pompous move. But out of curiosity, Ben, to clarify that point about the first person, was that did Nolan basically include like the perspective in addition to the dialogue in the screenplay?
Yes.
Okay.
Where there would be scene descriptions,
it
would be written through the Oppenheimer first person eye.
Yeah. He kind of did the actor's work for them.
Yes, yeah. And I think
well, at least Oppenheimer's.
He said in terms of adapting American Prometheus, like that was the way that that book is not written in a first person perspective at all, but I guess that's the way that he could cinematically like make sense of it. So that was the point of view he took. But it's a really weird move, and I don't know if I've ever seen it done before. But I think that might rub people kind of like not the wrong way, but they might be like, "This is weird." They're reading it. I don't know.
It's feel like something where you're either going to be really on board with it or really opposed to it.
Yeah.
Like I just want to know if he allowed himself to sit in a chair while he wrote that. Like
probably not, right? He hates chairs. Christopher Nolan.
He does.
Get him off my set. Get him out of my office.
Stumps okay.
Standing room only.
Alex, who are you voting for?
I think I'm gonna vote for Poor Things. The question of writing is always one. I think I've brought this up before, but I'm always kind of to what I think Anna's point about the zone of interest. How people wouldn't necessarily think of it as like a screenplay or based on a lack of dialogue, for example. That's kind of where my mind goes, where it's like, on the one hand, when I think of writing, I think of the superficial elements of writing. So dialogue, words that we directly experience as viewers of film. But of course, a screenplay tends to include more than just dialogue, right? And in a lot of ways, almost everything we see on, in a movie can be sourced in some sentence written down somewhere. And then the question, okay, which sentences are part of the writing, which ones are not, is raised, or is begged. But yeah, I think from the sort of more comprehensive perspective, I think Poor Things, hearkening to our conversation, and I alluded to it in the last stream that I was on when we actually reviewed Poor Things. But I think Poor Things is a movie. I'm sure Jeanette will agree to some extent. Like, I think it's a movie that has a lot of depth to it, a lot of layers to it, and I think it's a movie that benefits from like examination, thinking about it, and I think that's a testament to its writing. And I think the things that I identified in the movie and that I appreciated in the movie that I thought were novel or especially impactful are attributable to its writing. And so because of that, I'm going to give it to Poor Things.
Yeah, well articulated, well said. Jeanette, what are you feeling?
So I originally had Poor Things, and I still would be very happy if that won. I'm currently reading the book right now, and so far it seems like they did a great job. But I assume that all of that like stuff that's happening in the background in Zone of Interest is in the screenplay. Like, there's an auditory screenplay in with like the actual screenplay, and that kind of blows my mind. And I would love to see, I'd love to see that screenplay and see how much of that really, I mean, it has to be there. Like, they're not making random noises. He's told them what to make noises of and like when to place it. So yeah, I'm going to have to go with Zone of Interest. I can't believe I'm saying it. Like, I want to vote Poor Things because I'm reading the book and I'm like, this is a wonderful adaptation. But to write a screenplay from a Nazi's freaking memoir and to turn it into that, like, crazy.
Is it adapted from a legit memoir from like an actual?
Yeah, it's Rudolf Haas.
Wow.
Is that a real person? I don't know
That's
history.
a real person.
Well,
Yeah.
the interest in this movie keeps on moving into my zone. So,
So I'm gonna have to go with them. I can't believe I'm not voting Poor Things. I thought I was just gonna vote for Poor Things for everything it was nominated for, and now my life's turned upside down.
I love this. Vince, what do you think?
I gotta tell you, I'm surprised Killers of the Flower Moon isn't here. It's adapting a biography of some sort, or not a biography, but like a nonfiction book. And I thought it was a pretty tight script. Well, not a tight script, but it's a good script. If you watch it in two parts, if you stop just before Jesse Plemons shows up, it is a really great 2-part film. But I guess it's not good enough for the Academy. So I was going to say Poor Things, but I really think Oppenheimer is going to take it. I'm voting Oppenheimer. I prefer the script of Poor Things.
All right. Let's talk about the short films. Let's talk about the shorts.
Let's talk about it.
Let's go. Let's start with, I think Lauren, did you say there was a documentary short?
Yeah, the documentary short.
Let's talk about documentary shorts. Our options here, I have not seen any of these, but they are the ABCs of Book Banning, The Barber of Little Rock, Island in Between, The Last Repair Shop, and Lauren, how do I pronounce the last one, Nate?
Nine and WIPO.
There we go. What can you tell us about any of these movies, or the one that you love?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
I'm voting Nine and WIPO. This is the only film that I care about in all of the Oscars. I just think it's on Disney Plus. If anybody wants to watch it, it's really good. It makes you want to. It's basically about these two in-law grandmothers, who decide to live with each other. Their husbands have died. They sleep in the same bed, even though they're not lesbians, and they just do like these things all day long, like to keep each other company. And it's just it's directed by their grandson. And it's just a very sweet film, and I love it. And it fits in my pro-Asian category.
That sounds so beautiful. My instinct was ABCs of Book Banning because I just like the title and I feel like it would be an interesting watch. Has anyone seen any of these films?
No.
Well, I've seen
Unfortunately
not. All right. Well, Lauren has given us a really good review of at least one of them. Ben, what's getting your vote on this?
I went with the ABCs of Book Burning because I like the title, Matt. Okay. Just like what you said. That's what I work with.
And actually, I feel like I should lock that in as my vote because that's what I would have picked before I heard Lauren describe this other movie. Anna, what do you think?
Yeah, I said 80 season book banning. I think I feel like in a lot of these categories, stuff that's very like topical tends to do well because it's on people's minds. And I just think this fits that. Yeah, that qualification.
Alex?
Let's ban a book. Let's do it.
Jeanette?
I am gonna go with Nai Nai and Waipo.
Yay!
All right, Vince.
Look, I can't help but trust Lauren's opinion here. I got to go with the grandmas.
Yay!
Grandmas.
I didn't know it was on Disney Plus or
Yeah,
I'm
it's on
sure
Disney
this
Plus.
year.
And you know what? It gets points because of accessibility.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
I wish all the shorts were so much more accessible. I went to
Yeah.
the TIFF theater to see one of them, like one of the lineups, which was live action shorts, which I'll discuss in a second.
Oh, I did too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I've seen all the live actions now.
Oh, nice. Those. Well, let's talk about animated shorts first, and then we'll talk about live action shorts because I have so many thoughts on all of those live action shorts because some of them made me angry, but we'll discuss why. Animated short. I feel like this is one of the first years in recent memories, if not history, where Disney doesn't have a nomination or Pixar.
Yeah, I noticed there were no Spark shorts on here.
Yep. And beyond that, I don't think any of these are geared towards kids. I could be wrong, but the vast majority seem to be like animation for adults, which is kind of nice in some ways to kind of shift the perspective. But the options are Letters to a Pig, 95 Senses, Our Uniform, how do I say pachyderm?
Pachyderm?
Oh, like an elephant.
Pachyderm.
Pachyderm. That's how you spell pachyderm?
That's how you spell
I mean, technically, it'd be more correct to pronounce it as pachyderm, but yeah.
Pachyderm. I would not have guessed.
The colloquial way or whatever, the casual way is pachyderm. Yeah.
Pachyderm. So pachyderm like elephant, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't need to know anything else. That's getting my vote.
I know, right? That's what I was
that's
thinking.
the same with me.
And then the other one is War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko, which probably would have gotten my vote before I remembered pachyderm means elephant, and I love elephants. That's where I stand. Jeanette, what gets your vote?
Pachyderm. That's what I was going to say too.
Who doesn't love elephants?
Right? And that's a
know.
really fun word to say.
It is. They're the trunks and
I'm
lucky.
going to laugh if it's not about elephants. I'm looking it up right now.
Oh no, don't spoil this for me. How lucky are we to live in the age of elephants? I feel like every time I look at an elephant, I'm awestruck and just think, this is one of those like beautiful creatures that I feel in a couple hundred years might not be around, and people might not even remember what they look like. Well, they will because of how we document things now, but still, to get to see an elephant in real life, we're so lucky.
It says, can I tell you? It says that it is a simple story. It says Louise stays with her grandparents in the countryside for a few days during the summer holidays. But then in the little blurb underneath that says "in a nutshell," where it gives you like a 3-word synopsis of what the movie feels like: tragic, abusive, and scary.
Oh.
So yeah.
Wanted a cute movie about.
And there's like a lonely looking girl laying in a field with
Yeah,
a
that's the
shadow
picture I
looming
have
over-
here.
with a shadow looming over her. So
It's a little hard to see.
just saying.
Yeah,
I think we
looks
just
sad.
voted for a child abuse animated short.
Does she make friends with an elephant who makes it better?
Oh no, I think
Yes,
your
yes,
grandfather
she
has
does.
bad hands.
Yes.
She
An elephant
does.
makes it all
An
better.
elephant makes it all better.
Yes. An elephant gets rid of all her problems.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
Good. I'm happy. Alex, what are you voting for? Is it pachyderm?
Negative.
Oh.
It is Letter to a Pig, because I like that title.
Nice.
Alex likes pigs more than elephants.
Oh, I love pigs.
Yeah, bacon.
Yeah, eating them, talking to them, loving them. It's all good.
Vince, what gets your vote?
I'm with Alex. I'm going with Letter to a Pig. You know, Babe, Pig in the City. I was
Yeah?
a big fan of that as a
Pigs
kid.
in a blanket.
Pigs in a blanket. I've never eaten an elephant, so I gotta go with my gut here, and I'm going with pigs.
All right. Lauren, pigs or elephants? Or something else, yes.
Pachyderm.
Pachyderm.
I love me an elephant.
Oh, Letter to a Pig is about traumatic memories of a Holocaust survivor.
Oh my God.
they're all coded. Like,
the 3-word description for that one is tragic, touching, and twisted.
And in parentheses, loving family, easy getaway, whatever.
Wow, talk about misleading titles. I hope
all of these titles could pass for like heartwarming kids animated movies.
Yeah, I feel like Letter to a Pig was kind of, I don't know. I got a vibe.
Yeah.
But...
I pictured that it was like about a kid getting bullied and then like ran out to the farm or the field from like their schoolhouse and then made friends with a pig that they wrote letters to. I'll make my own animated short. Ben, what do you think?
Well, 95 Senses is the couple that made Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh,
and Jared Hess. Yeah. I'm not going to go with that. I was going to go with War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko, because it had a cool thumbnail. But I saw that someone else may have picked it, and I decided that it's time to shake things up.
Shake it.
We don't want to have the same ballot. I'm going to go with Our Uniform.
Okay.
Which I believe is a short where it's all animated on like clothing and like it's like kind of has an unusual sort of look to it. So I think that might be an interesting choice.
Nice. Hannah, what do you think?
I said War is Over, which based on what we've learned about the others, I can only assume is a movie about a friendly dog. Yeah. Because all the ones that sound nice are kind of dark. So I think the one that might be a little dark is actually really nice.
War is Rover. The story of a friendly dog.
Okay. Let's talk about live action shorts. So who has seen any of them?
All of them. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So let's just do a briefing of what all of them are for those who may not have seen them. I'll go in the order that it's on the ballot, which is also kind of the order of, oh no, it's not the order of what made me the angriest, the least angriest. One of them is The After, which is on Netflix. And that's what opened the lineup in the screening that I saw at TIFF. And that movie made me very angry.
Yeah.
I've heard multiple people say this. Like some of these shorts make people mad.
Oh, so this is what happens in The After. And so you're introduced to this loving father who's like on a daddy-daughter date. He's like skipping work. He's going to go to her ballet recital or whatever. And they meet up with the mom in a public place and you think it's all nice. But also there's the seed of doubt. It's like, you're making me like this dad and his kid a little too much. Something bad's going to happen. And something bad does happen. But not just bad. Like borderline snuff movie. Well, borderline, not exactly, but basically out of nowhere, this guy shows up in this public space. He stabs the little girl like very brutally. You see the knife come out of her covered in blood. He then throws her over top of the roof of the building that they're on the top of. And the mom, seeing this, jumps off the building to like instantly kill herself. And the dad witnesses it all. And that's in the first like 3 minutes. And then it cuts to a year later and he's an Uber driver. And it's just him silently driving people, being really sad. And then it ends with him driving a family home from the airport. The daughter looks like his daughter. And then he cries and she hugs him. And that's the end.
Oh my God.
Sounds like an everybody loses kind of situation.
Yeah.
Just
Wow.
I feel like to show me something that emotionally important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. To have no payoff.
Right.
It could have been worse. He could have been a Lyft driver.
Matt, you're not the first person I've heard specifically with The After to be like,
Yeah.
this movie like made me so angry. So it's fascinating. It's weird how some of these shorts make it into Oscar consideration. You know,
Just Anna, what did you think of it?
Yeah, I did not care for that one.
Was it your least favorite?
Yeah, maybe.
You're not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, this is an interesting lineup.
I don't know. I didn't like hate it. I just like, yeah, it's a strange short.
Like, why does it exist?
Yeah.
Why did you do this thing to humanity? Why?
Yeah. Okay, next. Oh, there's one called Invincible, which is based on a true story of youth in a juvenile prison who like escapes and then dies tragically. And it was fine. It was fine. Yeah. Yeah, that was fine.
Yeah, it didn't really do that much for me, that one. Like,
Yeah, nor me. And like, it looks like it was directed by like a real life friend of the guy that the movie was
yeah.
about. So it has that personal connection. But outside of that, I don't know. Like, it didn't make me angry like the After did. It was just there. It was meant.
There are others that I like more.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about Red, White, and Blue, because this is the one that I wanted to like the most. And in some ways I did, but I felt like the filmmaking of it was not the greatest. It felt kind of pandering. Like, they had a really strong idea and they were not just spoon feeding it to me. It felt like they were forcing my mouth open and like shoving it into my digestive system.
Yeah, I think this is actually my pick for what I think will win, because I think it'll I think just the resonance of it, a lot of people will go for it. We should say it's about very basic description. It's about a woman who is she lives in Arkansas. She's trying to go to Missouri because it's the nearest state where abortion is legal. And yeah, I think it's gonna resonate with people. I think the ending in particular, it gets a little, now we explain what the movie is about.
Yep.
And I actually think if it had cut a minute or two earlier, I would have liked it more. But yeah, I won't be mad if it wins. I'm not mad that it's definitely gonna resonate with people and it's very topical. But yeah.
Yeah, I think the topical nature of it is important, and I think that the nomination means people are probably seeing it who wouldn't have seen it otherwise, so that is important. But yeah, the ending with kind of explaining what it is, and also the way that they handled the twist, to me, I feel like I figured it out as soon as the kid got in the car to go with her on the trip. But did you not? Or
no, I didn't expect that.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was fine. It was fine. I want it to be better, especially with that ending, because the daughter says, she goes on a speech about how, is it elephants?
Yeah, it's elephants.
Oh, elephants.
It does come back to elephants.
Ooh, elephants again.
Elephants. So Night of Fortune is my personal favorite.
Yeah, I really like that one.
I love Night of Fortune. So it's about two widowers at the morgue who are both there to identify their wives, and it just takes on a really beautiful and darkly comic turn, just about loneliness and loss. And it to me felt like the most successful at examining the themes lots of these movies were seemingly trying to examine, mostly death and sadness and loneliness. So yeah, there's that. Then there's what else? Oh, Henry Sugar, Wonderful World of Henry Sugar, the Wes Anderson movie based on the Roald Dahl short story, which is on Netflix for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah, that and Night of Fortune are my two favorites.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Which one? Oh, you said your vote is for Red, White, and Blue?
Yeah, I think I think Henry Sugar is probably the favorite.
Yeah.
But I'm staking a little bit on this. I'm taking a gamble, but I'm saying Red, White, and Blue because I think that might be the surprise.
I like gambles.
Yeah.
Is it true that Wes Anderson has not won an Oscar? Is that a thing?
That is true.
Yeah,
he's been nominated
right.
times.
He doesn't even want a screenplay.
Yeah, Royal Tenenbaums was nominated for screenplay, and maybe a couple.
And so was Grand Budapest Hotel, I believe.
Budapest. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Budapest win Best Picture though, but I guess that wasn't just for him.
It was nominated. Did that win? I don't think that
I think
won.
it won.
What one?
Did
Grand Budapest Hotel?
I don't think
No,
so.
it didn't win. That was
didn't win.
2014.
Yeah, maybe that was Birdman.
I think
or
that was the
something.
Birdman year.
Let me see. I'm
think
going to look
so,
it up.
maybe.
I think that was the Birdman year. That's
that
a
checks
weird
out.
year.
That was a
So
weird.
should have won, but
That. Oh. No, it won.
I thought
Oh, wait.
It won?
Did it? Hold on.
Hold on.
It makes, let's see. List of awards won by the Grand Budapest Hotel. Academy Awards for, it doesn't tell me which ones it won. Okay, hold on. You guys keep talking. I'll look it up.
Okay. Well, yeah, my vote is just going to go to Night of Fortune. I don't think it'll necessarily win, but it's the one in my heart that I want to win because I enjoyed it the most. I wouldn't be upset if Henry Sugar won, and I also would not be upset if Red, White, and Blue won. I'll only throw something at the TV if the After wins.
It did not win. It won for
12 Years a
score,
Slave.
costume design, production design, and hairstyle, makeup. And
Okay. It
The
was
all
just
the more
nominated.
reason then. This could be his Oscar.
In a year where he had another feature film that got 0 nominations with Asteroid City, which is interesting.
yeah, that one was okay.
Photography.
It's a really divisive one. Like some people I know loved Asteroid City, and then other people it was like kind of left them cold. I think he's kind of like that in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But, Matt, were those short films? Was that the order that you saw them? Like, was that how they were screened to you?
No.
No, it was the after Red, White, and Blue, Night of Fortune, Invincible,
Henry Sugar.
Gotcha. Okay, I was curious about that.
They left the
they wrapped up with the closest to a happy movie that they had.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes. Ben, what's your pick?
I'm gonna go with Henry Sugar. I think it's just gonna happen that his first Academy Award win will be for this short film category. I just feel it. I don't know.
Feel it. I like
I
that.
haven't seen it yet, but I want to.
Yeah.
Feel it.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Again, award for access. We like that. Lauren, what would you vote for?
I think I'm going to go with Henry Sugar, just because I like Wes Anderson, and I like Roald Dahl.
Nice. Vince?
You all know I made my mind up 10 minutes ago. I'm going with the one about the guy who becomes an Uber driver. I think it's weird. It's unexpected. It elicited a real reaction from me, and the Academy's gonna love it.
Okay.
It's what Uncle Oscar would have wanted.
I'm glad you gave it your vote, Vince, because at the very least, now if it does win, I'll be happy for you.
Yeah.
There it is. Jeanette, what gets your vote?
I'm gonna go with Henry Sugar just because it was the only one I had heard of previous to this.
All right. And Alex?
Going with Vince.
I love it. I love you guys.
As a homage to my younger, edgier self.
You gotta do it.
Okay. I'll be happy for both of you. All right. What's a category that will make me happy? Because I'm worked up over the after. Production design. Let's talk about production design.
Yeah.
Good.
The pretty looking
I
movies.
know which one I'm going for.
We got Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. I'm going to vote for Barbie because I think it might actually win, even though I almost want to vote for Killers of the Flower Moon because I just think the production design brought that whole environment and that time period to life in a really beautiful way. But Barbie. So there we go. Lauren?
Barbie. I mean, they built Barbie World. Hello. That doesn't get
All
better
the
than
dream
that.
houses. Yes.
All the dream houses.
As well as the Kendom. They built
Yeah.
Barbie World and tore it down.
Yes. And the Mojo Dojo Casa House.
Ken's Salon. It was great. Ben, what's your vote?
I'm going Barbie. I think that she gave that movie an iconic look with that production design. So I think it would be a well-deserved win.
Anna?
Yeah, this is actually a category where I wouldn't really be mad if any of these won. Even like Poor Things, which I didn't really like, I think the production design is really accomplished in that movie. And I think whoever did the work on that did a really good job of building that world.
Yeah.
But yeah, Barbie. I just think like everything in Barbie world is so well done and just, yeah, really inspired, really amazing.
Nice.
Barbie.
Alex?
Question: does CGI count as part of production design, or is it exclusively physical sets, or what? And are costumes included from productions? Is it again?
I don't think so. I don't
So-
Costume's its own
Pretty much
thing.
anything that we see is considered part of production design.
Yeah.
Say
I
for
always
I
took it
guess
as the set, right? It's
Yeah,
like
that's what I
the
think
set
it
and
was.
like the mood
Sets and
setting.
props
It's
and,
just not-
yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? It's yeah. So, anyways, that's where it's another one of those like writing situations where I'm not sure exactly what I'm supposed to be paying attention to here. But I'm thinking Barbie does do a lot of cool, interesting visual stuff.
Mhm.
That is true,
It is.
but
But
Oppenheimer's a better movie. and it also does interesting stuff. And there's clearly a lot of production elements that go into that film and making it what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But that's true of pretty much all the movies here. I haven't seen Napoleon. That's the only one I haven't seen.
No one did. It's
Right.
It's fine.
It's not his best, but it's worth watching.
Poor Things is in my short list too here, where it's like, I mean, again, if I'm considering like the visual elements, like CGI and stuff, but if I'm not considering the CGI, if it's just like what they built.
Yeah, they go to multiple European countries as well. So there's
I know, and part of that setting is obviously not real. But I would still, my intuition tells me that's still part of the production. So
in that case, I think like I feel like in Poor Things, anything that you think might have been animated or computer generated for backgrounds, I feel like that counts.
Like there's so much like Poor Things, the whole thing is like a made up like fantasy land. Like it's everything in that movie is like designed for a purpose and to do what it's doing. Mm-hmm. So do I give it to Poor Things?
Do you?
Yes, you should.
Sure.
Okay.
Poor Things.
Okay.
Can I ask one more thing? Do we count background dogs as production design?
Oh yeah.
I think so. Dog chicken, chicken dogs.
Yes.
Because at one point in the background in Barbie, there's a Bernese Mountain Dog, which is my favorite type of dog in the world. So
she like told me about it after the second time she saw it. She's like, Ben, when they get to the real world and they're on the beach and they're roller skating, look in the background. There's a Bernese Mountain Dog.
So if that counts as production,
that counts as product placement.
Barbie.
No.
The best Bernese Mountain Dog.
I know someone had to pick that dog. That was a choice. Yeah.
They went through a bunch of dogs and they were like, that's the best ones because they are the best dogs.
Nothing is a mistake. It's
that's why I want to get a dog named Barbie.
Jeanette, what production design for you?
So my original choice was Barbie, but then revisiting now. First of all, can I just be like, why is Zone of Interest not on here? That man spent 6 years. He literally built that house and they put seeds in, they put baby plants in the ground and raised that entire garden from infancy for 6
what
years.
Movie was it?
Zone of Interest.
This movie did
and he built that house completely from scratch, and it looks exactly like the photo. Like if you look at the photos of that place, it's bizarre. So first of all, that deserves to be here. But my choice now is going to Poor Things, just because I feel like the world building visually is very, very strong. So it is for Barbie too. Either one of those would be a perfectly acceptable choice, but I'm going to go with my heart since they're both perfectly acceptable.
Nice. Vince? We can't hear you.
No. We heard him.
What's the category again? Production design.
Just
okay.
pick it out of there.
Yeah. Poor Things. No doubt. Look, all the others are great. I enjoyed the production design and all the other members of this category I watched, but we're talking about dogs and nothing beats the French bulldog chicken. You have my favorite dog there mixed with my favorite type of poultry. So how can you go wrong?
Win-win.
I think it's creative. And I also want to say that a lot of the stuff in the background of Poor Things that we thought was CGI was them like bringing in a physical screen, like a giant screen, then shooting it like that. Like
as opposed to just one green
with
screen.
A volume.
Yeah, that's the word. That's the word.
Volume.
Last week.
I like to say Mandalorian, but all right. Well, since we're kind of talking about Mandalorianing and volumes and effects, let's go to visual effects.
Wait, Matt, what was your production design?
Oh, Barbie.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Barbie Land all day, all night. For
Visual
sure.
effects.
Yes. I mean, lack of cats, but none of these movies had cats. So there it is.
Is that true?
Oh, I did not see Napoleon.
Was there not a cat in Killers or in Oppenheimer? Not some
maybe there was like running around,
random
but it
kitty
wasn't
running around. Oh yeah, I mean
there's Kitty Oppenheimer.
Yeah, Kitty
character.
Oh right. She doesn't count. She got a nomination. Wait, Kitty is Emily Blunt, right?
Yes.
Yeah. She got a nomination. Okay. Visual effects. We're back to The Creator. Godzilla -1, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, and Napoleon. I'm voting for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 because the effects were so good in that movie that they are the sole reason I will never watch that movie again. It made me so uncomfortable. And it hurt my heart, my soul, and my eyes. And that's because it was done so well. So here it is. Guardians. That movie. Okay. Let's go with Jeanette.
Same, if Guardians of the Galaxy is anywhere on an Oscars ballot, I have to vote for it. I don't care. I'm just so happy it's here.
Oh, God.
Lauren, what do you think?
I'm going for, even though I should vote for Godzilla -1 because of the Asian factor, but I'm going for Guardians.
Guardians? Cool.
Yeah, I just thought it was done so well.
Did anyone see Godzilla -1?
Yeah, it's great.
It rocks.
I want to. I love
Yeah.
Godzilla movies.
It's amazing.
It is awesome. It is so good.
Yeah.
Like, how are the
It is-
effects? Is it just effects contributing towards one Godzilla, or are there other things?
I mean, there are other things because it's not just the kaiju. Like, there's like stuff that's like the destruction and everything. The fascinating thing about Godzilla -1, I was so happy to see it nominated because it was kind of, I think, a surprise for them. I think that the rumor was that because the movie looks like an $100 million movie, and then it turned out that the rumor came out that it was made for like $10 million US, about that equivalent. And then the director said, "That's not true. I wish I had $10 million US." When you see what he did with the limitation, it's incredible because the movie on its own stands great. But yes, yeah.
Wait, so
Interesting.
you're saying that it was made for less than 10 million?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was made for like less.
And you would never know.
You would have no
It was
idea.
Oh,
It
oh my God.
feels
Now I'm rethinking.
It's like one of the best blockbusters I think I saw last year.
yeah. I mean, Guardians is I think such a good choice too because of all those animals and their big, beautiful, cute eyes and everything.
Yeah, the little water and the little.
Yeah, but
They made me cry.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah.
but yeah, Godzilla -1, the just the production value, like what they got out of the limitations that they have, it's just a great movie. It's so good.
Nice. Oh, so is that your vote, Ben?
Oh, sorry to jump in. Yes, yeah.
Okay. Is that both of your
Mine
votes?
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I just love it. I don't actually know what the favorite is for this category, but
don't
I
either.
just I have to vote for Godzilla -1.
Nice. I've never seen a Godzilla movie either. Maybe this will be the first.
A friend
Wow.
of mine is in the Visual Effects Society, and he gets the reels that the Academy is sent. So he got to see some of the reels for them, and it's crazy, like what they do with visual effects. Like Killers of the Flower Moon had a visual effects reel where they like put all these cattle into the frame that weren't there, and like things that you're never supposed to notice. But the coolest thing that I learned, don't tell anyone this, anyone watching. So Oppenheimer, they filmed a really key shot of that movie towards the end of the movie off of like a television set.
What do you mean? They use a television set to like prop up a camera, or what? Or what?
Yeah, they shot it with a proper film camera, and it was like they needed like a visual effect, and they just shot it off of a TV, and you would never know.
Like the reflection on the TV?
There was nothing. There was no glare. They just like they nailed it.
Huh.
Yeah,
Is that the scene when Einstein whispered, "I'm here to see my gynecologist"?
that was the scene when Einstein said that, and Downey Jr. was like, "What is he talking about over there?"
Yeah.
That's
And Oppenheimer's
that's
like,
me
"Bro,
wanted to make
hat
last
blowing
year
off.
in the heat of Barbenheimer, but I was
His hat
lazy.
didn't blow off. That was all CGI.
Oh, that was visual effects. Einstein's hat blowing off, and him
Wow.
looking sad about it.
Give it the Oscar. Give it the Oscar right now. Alex, have I asked you yet? No, I haven't. What are you voting for?
The only one I've seen, Guardians 3.
Guardians, okay.
But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like. Don't get me wrong. Like Marvel movies are just like they're chock full of visual effects all the time, right? And they, I mean, for the most part, they in my experience, they very rarely disappoint. These recent films. So it's basically what I'm saying is like, I don't think Guardians did anything especially interesting this time around with the visual effects. I think it just maintained the, solid, visual effects that Marvel and Guardians have always done. So, yeah.
Well said. All right. Vince, what gets your vote?
How can I not say Guardians 3? Come on. I'm a loyalist to the franchise. Guardians 1, 2, 3 always been consistently good. I think consistently a cut above the rest of its contemporary, its Marvel peers, except for like maybe Infinity War or Endgame. But anyway, I think it deserves an Oscar. I think it deserves Best Adapted Screenplay too, or at least it should take Barbie's spot.
How
Come on.
Oh yeah, easily.
Rocket didn't have a speech about feminism. Come on.
But it tore at my heartstrings.
Yeah, mine too, because of the visual effects. If you're gonna show me a baby animal getting tortured, then all the
Make
heart.
it a fake baby
I don't
animal.
know if I understand what those movies are about anymore.
Yeah, that's part of the joy and the terror. Anyway, let's bring in our final panelist for tonight, everybody. It's Lisa.
Hi.
Oh, I thought we were gonna be like all around her, and she was gonna be in the middle.
I don't think I can do that.
That could be fun.
Oh wait,
Pseudo.
there we go.
There we go.
Oh, look at that.
It is like Hollywood Squares.
Wait, hold on.
We can do the Brady Bunch
Like
thing
the
and go.
heart, the heart thing. There you
Oh,
go.
that's cute.
Aw.
Lisa,
Hi,
welcome.
everyone. Hello, I missed
Who are you
all.
wearing? Who are you wearing? That's our red carpet question.
I'm wearing Reitmans. Reitman
Alex
from
did the exact same.
Canada and Old Navy as my bottoms.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, our other opening question was, what is your biggest Oscar upset in the history of the Oscars? Like someone who was nominated that didn't win that you think should have.
Oh, that's like such a hard one. There's like so many.
There are.
I'm gonna say Betty Davis for Who's Afraid of Whatever Happened to Baby.
Whatever happened to Baby Jane?
Because Anne Bancroft won that year, which she should have, because that was for Annie Sullivan in The Miracle Worker. But Joan Crawford was not nominated and went to Anne Bancroft and was like, hey, if you don't go to the Oscars because you're going to win and you're doing a play on Broadway, can I go up and accept your speech, do the acceptance speech so that I can like shove it up Betty Davis's ass? And that's what happened. And I think that was atrocious, but I love the Hollywood drama. That's
What a power move.
What a
Such
power
power
move indeed.
Uh,
I know Joan Crawford don't like, but what a power move. What top energy.
What a good movie that was, Baby
That
Jane.
was for you, Lauren.
So, Lisa, you've joined us for visual effects.
Okay,
So
yes.
Our options for visual effects tonight, we have The Creator, Godzilla -1, Guardians of the Galaxy Part 3, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, which I've been told is now just Dead Reckoning Part, that's all we get, and Napoleon.
Okay. I chose Godzilla -1 because it was
Yeah.
the silliest name, but I've also never seen it. So
Yeah, no, Ben and Anna gave us like a very impressive testimonial about this movie. Apparently,
They don't explain what Godzilla -1 means, so I was like, I gotta find out. So I looked it up, and what it means is that when in World War II, got like the state of Japan, not the country of Japan, and the state that it was in was like down to like net zero, and then when Godzilla showed up, it brought it to -1. Like they were struggling, and then it was like down to -1.
Oh no.
Godzilla took them when they were down, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
interesting.
It's a really odd title.
Yeah, I think the idea is like they're already rebuilding the country, and then Godzilla destroys even
He shows up. He's like,
even
yeah.
more. Right.
We have
That's
destroyed
a title
buildings.
that
I'm going to destroy those destroyed buildings.
translates better in another language or something.
Yeah.
Internationally.
Yeah, I think there's something lost in translation there, but
Godzilla.
it also just sounds cool.
Sometimes he's friend, sometimes he's foe, sometimes he he cares about the environment, sometimes he's just like he's an interesting
and we love
fella.
him no matter what.
We always
Yeah,
love
yeah, I agree.
if not friend, why friend shaped?
him. Right.
Fair enough.
That's good.
No, I see a lot of TikToks and a lot of pictures in the animal groups that I'm part of on Facebook that just show like giant cats, and it'll just show like little ears or the paws, and then it just says, "If not friend, why friend shaped?"
Mhm.
Same with Godzilla. All right, let's go to original screenplay. So,
Ooh.
yes,
Original.
our options here we have Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Maestro, May December, and Past Lives. And how can someone even pick? Because those are those are really good choices plus Maestro. So how can someone even pick? That's my question.
I don't understand.
Let's start with Lisa.
Can we just talk about, okay, have you guys done adapted screenplay yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is Barbie an adapted screenplay, but Maestro isn't?
That's what I
Maestro's
asked.
to be an adapted screen because it's adapted from this guy's life.
A person's life? Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
What?
Also, Killers of the Flower Moon is an adaptation that's not included. Like, why is Barbie in any of these categories, really? That's my
It was
question.
the best movie of
Well,
2023. But.
That's a different conversation, Alex. But yeah, like I don't understand. And May December's like based on like a real life scandal. So like I just don't understand any of this.
It's really murky with Barbie.
Yeah.
Like May December, I guess,
Because
is-
it's not adapted from previously,
Like,
like it's
source
a novel
material.
or a biography.
I think that
like,
that's what it is. Like if it, like Maestro didn't have any real, like Oppenheimer had American Prometheus.
Yeah.
Like there's a book and then that was used.
Yeah.
And if it's someone's life, I guess they could technically write an original piece on their life. Barbie is weird because it's adapting a property, like it's adapting a toy, but it's not adapting like media based on the toy.
Yeah.
So it's definitely weird, Lisa, and it kind of in some ways doesn't make sense. But yeah.
Because I think like Mattel had so many guidelines, so they were adapting guidelines. set
Right.
Yeah.
by Mattel.
I think it's because it's technically like based on the like product.
Yeah, it is a kind of an adaptation for the screen. They take costumes and set design elements that did exist in toy form, and they did adapt it for the screen. So in that sense, it's an adaptation.
Yeah.
But,
It makes as much sense as the Golden Globes deciding what's a musical and a comedy.
Yeah.
True. That's a great
Okay.
Weird.
What? That's a comedy?
Yeah. Remember The Martian?
Oh yeah, that was a
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like it was a musical.
Yeah.
But
He cracks a couple of jokes.
Okay, so just so that
That's
we're
it.
all clear, all of this is bullshit.
Yes.
oh yeah, the Oscars don't matter.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for the sidebar. I appreciate it.
so Lisa, what's your pick for original screenplay?
Anatomy of a Fall, guys. Come on. That was such a come on. I love that one.
I feel like I want to agree, but I also really loved The Holdovers.
I know. Listen, I mean, like, if I was really following my heart, I would be choosing Past Lives.
Mhm.
But I also want to win this
Yeah.
this prediction show. So I from how Anatomy of a Fall has been placing throughout the award season and just how much I love it. I'm 100% in on Anatomy of a Fall.
Actually, I like that logic. I'm stealing the Lisa logic, and
Lisa logic.
Lisa logic. Anatomy of the Fall gets my vote too. Vince, what do you think?
You know, my grandfather was a bit of a gambler. He was a craps man, you know, and he always liked betting on the long shots. And he said every now and then it pays off.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Past Lives. That movie affected me. Lisa can attest that I was sobbing like maybe
Throughout the whole
5-10 minutes in to the very end, and it was good. But I've got weird picks for like the best movies of the year, you know. So I don't know. Look, I'm going with my heart on this one, even though earlier I said I wasn't gonna always go with my heart. I'm doing it where it counts.
Do it where it counts. Love it. Love it. Jeanette, what do you think?
Well, at the beginning of the season, I had The Holdovers marked, but I am changing my answer to Anatomy of a Fall.
Ooh.
Mm.
Alex?
You know what? I think that people are going to be like, "Ooh, Bradley Cooper wrote it and starred in it. Let's give it to him."
Okay. Maestro.
Well, I understand the original title for that film was Pachyderm.
You love a throwback. throwback joke. That's okay. Anna, what do you think?
Yes, I'm going with head over heart here. This is a year where I think, much like the Adam Sandler acting win, the Indie Spirits are beating the Oscars because they gave screenplay to May December, which I think should be the winner, but it won't be. I think it'll be Anatomy of a Fall.
All right. Ben?
I have Anatomy of a Fall down too. I think that it's actually, no, never mind. That's all I'm going to say. No, I was going to talk about the best director category and how about potential upsets, but I think that I think the Academy's going to want to honor that movie, and I think that they're going to do it with that award with original screenplay.
Yeah, I feel like that is the moment. That is the place to give some love to Anatomy of a Fall.
And a friend of ours said that they should use the PIMP 50 Cent instrumental, that song that plays throughout that movie, as the playoff music. If you go too long in your speech, you start to hear.
I think they should use it as their walk-up music for sure. Like, if they get it, they should walk up to that.
Lauren, what's your vote?
You know me, I have my pro-Asian stance. Past Lives.
Nice.
I really did love that film.
It was a beautiful movie. I agree. All right. K-Dog and Fisher here. Woo! Hello, friends. Let us know, who do you want to win for all the things? Next, what do we have next? Let's talk about editing. Which movie had the best editing?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Our options here are Poor Things, Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Holdovers, and Anatomy of a Fall. I mean, Oppenheimer, was it edited? It was so long. Same thing with Moon. I feel like it could have benefited from more editing.
Wait, but Matt, does editing purely mean length, though?
No. But
which movie had the best runtime?
Yeah, it's
you have the best runtime. The nominations are 97 minutes. 105 minutes.
Right. I think Zone of Interest would win for sure.
I feel like I want to give it to Anatomy of a Fall. Yeah. I don't know why, but that's getting my vote. Also because it wasn't over 2.5 hours long. Oh no, it was, but I didn't feel like it. So.
Oh, really?
Oh, did you not? Did you think?
It is the Anatomy of a Fall detractor.
I just don't think it's good.
Really?
I can watch 3 better Law and Order episodes in the same amount of time.
Okay, fair. But
I love courtroom dramas, and I think it's a nonsense courtroom drama, which maybe is the fault of France. If this is a representation of what French court systems are
that's what we said. We're like, this
it's
can't
nonsense.
be reality, right?
Yeah, that's what makes it fascinating, I think.
So that drove me insane, and yeah.
Fair. What's your vote? What's your vote for film editing?
Oppenheimer. I think the way that it toggles between the sort of objective versus subjective perspective, the black and white versus in color, I think it's just so well done. I think it's telling all of these stories across so many timelines, and to me it just felt really cohesive. I feel like even when it was jumping ahead or jumping behind, I always knew where we were, and yeah, I think it's a really well edited film.
All right, Ben, what do you think?
I put Oppenheimer for the same reason. Yeah, I think that the movie really has a beautiful flow to it. And yeah, I don't know. You kind of said it all for that one. So I have Oppenheimer as well.
All right. Lauren?
God, I don't know. I'm going to go with the Holdovers just because.
Just because. I wanted to go with the Holdovers just to give the Holdovers more love. But the editing didn't stand out to me. Although, maybe that means it did its job well.
That's the thing about editing,
Exactly. Yeah. Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, I've only seen the Killers, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things of these nominees. I think all of them had great editing. Yeah, in terms of just specifically the way they obviously cut where they did, and the way they left screen time for the certain, whether it's the visual effects and representations that happened in Oppenheimer and in Killers of the Flower Moon. They did some interesting visual things there for sure. Poor Things, of course. These are all, I guess my heart is saying Killers is probably at the bottom of the three, but definitely not upset if it wins. And then between Oppenheimer and Poor Things, maybe I don't know, man. That's tough because like they both do very different things, I think. But also my heart is saying that Poor Things. I don't know. See, to Anna's point, when I watched Oppenheimer the first time, I had no idea what they were doing with the black and white and color stuff. I thought I had theories, but I had my theories turned out not to be correct.
As did I.
I wasn't dumbfounded, but I wasn't discombobulated. But I didn't quite get what they were trying to do the first time. And then with Poor Things, I'm convinced that everything I saw was purposeful. To quote Ben's earlier comment, nothing's a mistake. But I don't know what that movie, I don't know the purpose behind everything that it did editing wise either. So, or not, I shouldn't say either because I looked up the black and white thing anyway, or Matt did, and then he told it to me for Oppenheimer.
Wants to come back to you?
No. What do I do? Poor Things. There
we go. Poor Things.
Okay.
Lisa.
Oppenheimer, baby.
Whoa, so much confidence for Oppenheimer.
Yeah. I know it's long, but
I know it's losing the runtime category, but
I understand.
Yoda gets it.
No, but like I just keep it. It's all because of when they were doing the test bomb and all those cuts with the non-sound happening.
Yeah,
like that was good editing, guys. You can't deny that.
Yeah, I think it had good sequences. I think my hesitation is, do I feel like it was well edited from start to finish? But no, valid points.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick to it.
I never showed the mushroom cloud. I just wanted the mushroom cloud. So I wanted.
No. We all know what that looks like.
We know what it looks like.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's a movie about the bomb. Throw it in there. Okay, it doesn't take away from the movie.
Well, it's just like when Spielberg
you showed me gosh darn like 100 times optical zoom in the heart of an explosion.
Yeah, artistic choice.
I saw nothing. Okay, everything else was
what's
great.
Your pick?
Look, my favorite out of this list, my favorite editing out of this list is Anatomy of a Fall, and my heart's telling me that.
Do it. Join me.
No, Oppenheimer's gonna win. Oppenheimer's gonna win.
And as a consequence of that, Vince is going to win.
Maybe. Here's hoping.
Jeanette, what are you feeling?
So from the beginning of the season, I guess I was torn. I have Oppenheimer and Poor Things both highlighted. So I'm gonna have to make a choice. I'm gonna go with Poor Things.
All right.
Woo-hoo.
Did anyone see the documentary feature films this year?
No, and usually I see at least one of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
What happened, Ben? I don't know.
What happened, Ben?
I don't know.
So our options are Bobby Wine, the People's President, The Eternal Memory, 4 Daughters, To Kill a Tiger, and 20 Days in
Maripol.
I mean, I wanted to go with To Kill a Tiger because big cap, but they want to kill it.
Right.
I'll go with Eternal Memory. It sounds sad, and I like memories. So there we go.
Matt, it just sounds like they're weighing their options on if they should or not. You have to watch the movie.
That's true. I don't even want to see a discussion though. Never kill a tiger. That's my thought. Yeah, Vince, what's your documentary feature pick?
I'm strategically, without doing any research on any of these, which I guess is not strategic, I'm going with Maripol. Maripol.
Mariupol.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty phonetic, I think.
It's a me.
Yeah.
Jeanette, how about you?
Mariupol.
Well, just to let you know, it's not about killing a tiger. It is about a brutal gang rape. So, yeah, that's what that movie's about.
No.
That's what that one's about.
Okay.
And the
the
other
next
one,
With
the other one is about Ugandan politician.
Which one?
Bobby Wine
Okay.
is about that.
Is he a good
I don't-
guy?
I
Please
don't
tell me
know.
he's a good
I
guy.
mean,
The people's
Ugandan
president? Come
politics aren't full of great people. Just well, you know. I guess I'm gonna go with Four Daughters, and then I'm gonna look up what it's about. But I'm gonna say Four Daughters.
Can you also look up the Eternal Memory?
Yes.
Oh,
Is that your pick,
no.
Lisa?
Yeah, because it's like the most elusive one, and like I feel like a sapphic romance would be named after that.
Agreed.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Endless possibilities.
Endless possibilities, eternal possibilities.
All right. Four Daughters is about Islamic extremists, and then yeah. So what's Eternal Memory?
Yeah.
I bet it's about dementia or Alzheimer's without knowing anything.
I'll take that bet.
That one is
on, baby.
about a Chilean couple with Alzheimer's disease.
Yes!
Amazing.
Ben!
I'm gonna go with that one. Yeah,
Incredible.
Ben, that was amazing.
You just know it when you get these documentary feature noms and you're dealing with these heavy subjects.
Can
And
anything
we're talking
win
about
that's
memory.
like about a happy thing? Like, can we
No.
have like a happy win?
Yeah.
No.
That'd be cool.
No,
Look
people
at
are
that.
always happy.
There used to be like kind of a searching for Sugar Man or
Yeah.
500 Feet from Stardom. Was that what that was called? I can't remember.
Yeah,
500
something
Feet.
Oh,
There was
my-
usually one, or like the Mr. Rogers documentary was
Oh, yeah.
probably
Yeah, there's usually one that's like
kind of the uplifting one.
Yeah.
And they don't
My
I don't
friend
think
the
we have any of
octopus.
the octopus
Yeah.
teacher.
yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
what?
Yeah.
Is that from years past?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
my
was on
friend
Disney
the
Plus, I
octopus.
think.
I think it's on Netflix. Maybe it's shifted around.
Oh yeah, maybe it's Netflix. I think it was. Yeah, you're right.
Ben, what's your pick?
I picked 20 Days in Mariupol because Anna told me it's about Ukraine. And that's
Okay.
a topical, heavy subject
Yeah.
right now. So I feel like that might win.
And
Not to
Anna,
be like
you
glib about it, but that's what I think is going to win, maybe.
Yeah,
I
like I said
respect-
before, I think when in doubt, go for something topical, and a movie about journalists in Ukraine. That's my guess. So yeah, 20 Days in Mariupol.
All right. Lorne?
I'm gonna go with To Kill a Tiger
All right.
for no reason.
Alex?
20 Days in Mariupol.
All right.
Why do I want to sing like the Encanto song? Family Mariupol. I don't know why I want to do that.
What a crossover. The crossover we need. All right. Well, since we're talking about singing, let's go to original song. So
Okay.
our options here: "The Fire Inside" from Flamin' Hot. I didn't even know that was a movie. Is it about the Cheetos? We'll never know.
It is about the Cheetos.
Is it
It's
actually?
about-
It's directed by Ava Longoria. It's about the making of Flaming Hot Cheetos.
That sounds
Do they
amazing.
talk?
I
Do
love
they
Flaming
talk
Hot
to?
Cheetos.
Do they talk to Hot
Wait.
It is
Cheetos?
also on Disney Plus.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Wait, what was your question, Jeanette? Sorry.
No, I was joking. I said, do they talk to Hot Cheetos girls?
They should talk to Hot Cheetos girls. They should talk to Chester Cheetah. But I don't think that happens.
Next, we have "I'm Just Ken" from Barbie.
Yes.
"It Never Went Away" from American Symphony. "A Song for My People" from Killers of the Flower Moon, and "What Was I Made For" from Barbie.
Hmm.
This is interesting.
Barbie versus Barbie.
Barbie versus Barbie. And I think we're all winners because Gosling has confirmed that he's like performing it live. I'm
Yeah.
Just 10.
With 65 men.
What? Really?
Oh my
I
goodness.
think all
65
the acting nominees should have to do "I'm Just Ken."
Imagine Killian up there, Giamatti, all of them.
Niro.
De Niro,
Wait,
all the supporting
All the male nominees should have to do "I'm Just
There's
Ken."
gonna be
ratings juggernaut.
It would. People would watch for that.
Oh, 100%.
I think
Oh.
in-
Oh, pit crew.
Here we go.
The Ken up there with 65 Kens is gonna look like that Eminem stunt at the MTV Music Awards.
Yeah.
I have no context. What was that?
No, he got like 100 people dressed like Slim Shady on stage. They all filed into the theater, and it was just like a bunch of M&Ms on stage.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yes,
That's
do that with the Kens. Vince, what's your vote for original song?
I'm distraught that Peach is not on this list from the Super
Isn't
Mario
that
movie.
wild?
Peaches, peaches, peaches.
That was stuck in my head so much more than the Ken
Right?
song. But I think the Ken song is gonna win out of this list.
Okay, Lauren, what gets your vote?
What was I made for? I listened to that song so many times, watched the video so many times, and when I was done with that, I watched reaction videos of the video. I loved that song.
It's a beautiful song. I also
and I loved it in the context of the movie as well. I thought, and how they kind of borrowed the tune in different places.
yes, that's what I was going to say. The scene with Rhea Perlman, how you hear it like reorchestrated just in the background. It's so nice.
Mhm.
Yeah. Ben, what's your vote?
Man, I wish I could say The Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot. Diane Warren, who wrote that
Oh,
song,
yeah.
gets nominated for a Best Original Song Oscar every single year.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
swear there's like some conspiracy. I'm not a conspiracy guy, but I would go down the rabbit hole of like, why is she nominated every year for songs that no one knows, or there's something deeper going on. But my pick is for What Was I Made For from Barbie. Yeah, I think it's a lovely song. It really captures, I think, the that kind of emotional core of the movie in music, and I think it's gonna win. I like the Ken song too, but I think it's gonna win What Was I Made For.
Mhm.
Anna, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be What Was I Made For. I think it's been picking up a lot. I think the Academy likes Billie Eilish, obviously. So yeah, and I think it's a good song. I mean, I think if I was voting, I might say I'm Just Ken because I think it's really fun. But yeah, it's good. I can't complain. I think it's gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, I would be happy if the person who wrote all the music for Four Town from Turning Red got an Oscar. Does she already have an Oscar? Or no?
I don't know.
Billie Eilish?
Yeah.
Oh,
Did she win
Yeah,
for the
she does.
Guns?
yeah, she went for
Okay.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
The
good.
Bond film.
Give Four
Yeah, the
Town
Bond
more
film,
Oscars.
yeah.
A win for Billie Eilish is a win for Four Town, and that's part of our Canadian heritage.
Yeah, that's right.
Alex, what are you voting for?
Well, see, I feel like that because the song from RRR won last time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, that song has kind of a similar thing going on with I'm Just Ken, where they're both fun songs, but they really shine in the context of the movie when you see people like dancing to them. And whereas What Was I Made For, and those are the only two songs that I've heard a song for My People, however that's pronounced, but I don't recall which song that was. I'm assuming it's some indigenous song, but I don't know which one it was. What Was I Made For to me stands alone as just a song that I don't need to. I mean, not that you can't watch the video or whatever, but it doesn't require it. Whereas I'm Just Ken, in my mind, requires more of a visual component to fully be appreciable for what it is. I think it really is a vehicle to show what is in my mind, like this 80s style, like dance video. So I will vote for What Was I? No, well, but that's the thing though. But RRR won last year, and I'm comparing it to I'm Just Ken. So it's like, why wouldn't I'm Just Ken also win?
Exactly.
So I'm going to
Excellent
vote
reason.
for I'm Just Ken
Are you?
strategically.
Are you? No, the strategic vote here, Alex, is What Was I Made For?
But why? Why isn't my logic this sensible too? I'm Just Ken. Surely it's a more memeable song. Surely it made a bigger impact than What Was I Made For?
Yeah, no, but memes don't win Oscars, Alex.
Don't they though? On
The last time
RRR
a
they
meme
did.
won an
The
Oscar
meme of
was
their
for-
sick
for
dancing
Hey,
one
talking
in
about
RRR.
frogs. That was it. Last time a meme won an Oscar was Marissa Tomei, I would say. And
I think memes win all the time, but yeah, I guess save for the fact that I guess What Was I Made For is picking up in some sense, as alluded to by Ben and Anna. I don't know. Okay. Well, you know what? No. I'm going to stick with my logic. I'm Just Ken. I'm going to strategically vote for that because that's more likely to win.
You're right.
Not to mention reasons.
Actually, I want to retract saying Marissa Tomei was a meme winning because I think that performance was great and it did deserve to win. But the meme is the decades of people saying it was a mistake. Like that's the meme, which I find funny. Yeah, Lisa, what gets your vote?
What Was I Made For? No questions asked. Mainly because when you listen to Billie Eilish talk about how she writes songs, that is art. That's art in itself. So I think it was like a round table, a Vogue round table. I don't know. It was some round table where she was talking about how she started writing the song, and it was just genius. She is a lyrical genius. Yeah. Like
she hums the melody and gives
she was saying that she was trying to write something for her album, and like she was spending the entire day on her album, and then she got the call from Greta and she was like, okay, I'll write it. And it started with just like a sad melody, and then it was that first line of like feeling like a doll, like what was I made for as a doll? And then her brother was like, that's really good. And I'm not doing it justice. Watch the video.
Yeah. even the way that she decided to sing the song was like a factor. It was just really interesting to listen to. That was a really good interview.
Yes, really good.
Nice. Jeanette?
I am also going to go with What Was I Made For.
What was I made for?
See, I know What Was I Made For is probably going to win, but I kind of just want to go with I'm Just Ken.
Just Ken. None of this matters. It's okay.
You're right.
Lisa wants that free t-shirt. Don't listen to her.
I didn't say that. What are you talking about? What free t-shirt?
Strategy is important. It gets people shirts. Okay, here we go. Now we're moving into the big categories, friends. Animated feature film. Let's go there. So the options here: Boy and the Heron, Elemental. How do I say this one? Nimona, Robot Dreams, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Interestingly enough, Wish was not nominated, which maybe it didn't deserve. Maybe it didn't deserve it.
I'm a big Disney fan, and it did not deserve to be nominated.
Although you know what did? We didn't talk about this with animated shorts. Like the 100-year commemorative short, I think deserved to get a nomination.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Like, that was better than Wish.
It wasn't depressing enough, obviously.
Yeah, you're right. That's why. But yeah, Wish, it should have been better. I liked it. I did like it, but I'm not angry that's not on this list.
Yeah,
although, I am angry that I paid to see Boy and the Heron, but that's a. I'm voting for Spider-Man. I haven't seen it, but I have on good authority that it deserves to win. And my understanding is that it utilizes multiple different animation styles. And just in theory, that's the kind of thing that I feel deserves being awarded. So there we go. Lauren, what are you feeling?
It's like a toss-up between Elemental and Spider-Man. Elemental is just like, I really felt emotional during that film. But Spider-Man, I think I would vote for Spider-Man just because of, it's just redefining animation. Now people are starting to say, hey, we don't have to do like a traditional CGI, Disney looking film. We can go all crazy and all that. And so I really love that about the Spider-Man films. Plus, they're really good.
Nice. Vince, I see you have a new hat.
I'm here to advocate for a film that deserves to be on this list. You know, I know I brought up Peaches a couple of minutes ago, but as an Italian North American, I just want to bring up that Super Mario Brothers was a spectacular film. Yeah, it surpassed every single one of my expectations, and it is this year's RRR. Having said that,
surprised.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I think they knocked it out of the park. And having said that, Across the Spider-Verse.
All right. Jeanette?
I agree that Mario should have been nominated. I also can't believe that for the first time in my life, I'm not voting for the Disney movie. So yeah, Spider-Man.
All right. Lisa?
I agree with Vince about Super Mario. It's tragic. I think that's a big snub, bigger than the Barbie fiasco, if you ask me. Yeah. I want to say Spider-Verse because I really love just the whole franchise, to be honest. But I don't think it's gonna win it, and I want that shirt. So it's a boy and the heron. So put me down for the heron. Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
That movie. Maybe it's
Really?
best we didn't discuss it.
Matt, did you see the sub or the dub?
I saw the dub. Maybe if I saw the sub, it would have been better.
I want to see the dub. I'm curious about the dub. I always
Some
saw
big
the-
names.
I think the Miyazaki dubs are good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the voice cast was great. I think one of my chief complaints, and this could actually have to do with the script for the dubbing, is just certain pieces of seemingly crucial information weren't abundantly clear to me. That I think would have been
That
crucial.
happens in Miyazaki sometimes.
But yeah, it also
Fine.
it felt like it could have been a choice.
And I would say that one, I missed that episode, unfortunately. I got to go back and watch it. But that, even for him, that movie was kind of dense. And I wasn't expecting that when I saw it. I was like, whoa, this is like a pretty layered and somewhat perplexing movie.
Yeah, we didn't actually end up talking about that because it turned out to be impossible to find for the most part, unless you went to the
Gotcha.
theater. So we subbed it in for Maestro, but I would have just been complaining about that movie for the two. So there we are. Ben, what's your pick?
So I thought it would be a toss-up between, in terms of what they're going to give it to, Spider-Man and Boy and the Heron. And I think they probably gave Spirited away if they had the category by then. I think they did.
They did. Yeah.
But I feel like because Spider-Man won the first part of this trilogy they're doing already won an Oscar, and because Miyazaki was assumed to have been retired and then kind of came out of retirement, they're going to want to honor the master, and they're going to give him the animated feature. But he won't be there. He's going to be in Japan still. But if they give it to him, yeah, I think it would be. That's my guess.
All right.
Anna?
Yeah, this one's tough because the only one of these movies I've seen is Spider-Man, which I didn't like. So I think I have to go with Boy and the Heron because I did see the trailer and I thought it looked like a, well animated film. I should watch it. I'll watch the dub.
The dub.
There's some hot takes coming from Anna tonight. Just gonna say it.
What?
Just some of the movies you didn't like. There's some seemingly hot takes.
Yeah,
So,
I liked the first. I actually liked the first of these Spider-Man movies, but I don't know. I think a kids movie that is like 2.5 hours long and only half a story is like a very trying thing, and like I don't know.
didn't have the patience for it.
I want to see it. I want to see it now. Half a story. I want to see it first.
I think you're referring to it not concluding the story, right?
Yeah.
Oh, is it one of those?
Well, there's like a not the story's not finished by the end of the film.
So it pulls
Not a
into
standalone
Impossible
story.
Dead Reckoning. Some could say.
It was the exact same thing, Matt.
Except Dead Reckoning is more satisfying.
It was the exact same thing. They cut it in half.
Yeah.
And it was originally going to be Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah.
And Mission Impossible, they dropped the Part 1 and Part 2, and now it's going to be Beyond the Spider-Verse. I think it's going to be the last one. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
How do you remember them? Into, Across, Beyond?
That's how I feel with Homecoming, Far From Home, and
Yeah, me too.
Fly Away Home. As a
Forget it. Far
Homesick.
from, no way. I don't know.
Spider-Man Homesick.
Wait,
I like
Homecoming, Far
Dakota
From Home,
Johnson.
and No Way.
Multiverse
No Way
was
Home.
fun.
The way Dakota Johnson talks about, because she's never seen the Tom Holland movies, and she and somebody asked her, it's like, can you name all the Tom Holland movies? She can. It was really funny. So she just
Yeah.
like improvs it. That's how I like to remember it.
Alex, did I get your vote? No, I didn't. What's your vote, Alex?
I only saw Spider-Man Across the Spideyverse, and I had a good time. Miyazaki's, I love Miyazaki, so I wanted to see the Boy in the Heron. I haven't yet, but I will. But yeah, having not seen it, it's gonna have to go to Spidey Boy.
Spider-Verse, okay.
Spider Boy, Spider Boy.
Spider Boy, Spider
I think
Pig.
those Spider-Man movies are super influential now for so much animation. Like the new Ninja Turtles movie that came out last year.
Okay, that was a good one.
Yeah, like-
I liked that.
And even maybe in some ways Wish, like just this idea that we're not going to have like CG animation that looks CG, or it's going to be textured in this different way. I think you can like bring it all to those Spider-Verse movies.
All the more reason I want it to win now. Huzzah.
Yeah, I wish Ninja Turtle should be here.
I like the.
I like that one.
Yeah, I did too.
Wasn't the girl from the
Cute.
Bear? Wasn't Io April O'Neil?
Yep. Yeah, she
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
I love her. I love her.
It was really good.
And also, they cast actual teenagers as the Turtles for the first time, I think,
Yeah.
ever in a turtle.
Oh, that's fun.
Teen
Yeah.
Turtles.
Teen Turtles.
Mhm.
Yeah, teen turtles.
well.
It's in the title. They should always be teenagers.
Thus far in history, I tend to like the animated films that Seth Rogen puts out. So.
Mhm.
What else did he put out? What else?
Sausage Party, super good. I love that movie.
Scenes in that one.
It was so good. Was
I
that
love
nominated?
the
That should have
carrots.
been nominated.
It should have been. I don't think it was. Let's talk about costume design. So for costume design, we have Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. I'm just voting for Barbie because I think it might win. I don't necessarily know that it deserves to win out of all of these because there might be other reasons that others are more deserving, but I'm here for Barbie to get anything it can grab. So there it is. Lauren, who are you voting for costumes?
Yeah, I'm voting for Barbie. I just think that it's a movie about a fashion doll. They have a lot of great costuming in there, and plus, I just want Barbie to win things.
I do too. Give
Yeah.
the doll an award.
Mhm.
Give the doll an award.
That's all.
Best doll.
Doll.
Yeah.
It's like a category.
Barbie's a little insecure these days.
Doll.
And if Barbie doesn't win anything, I want Mattel to just put out an Instagram post of like a Barbie attached to a platform, like Lego did when the Lego movie didn't get nominated. They just said it's fine, we made our own, and then they tweeted a picture of an Oscar made out of
Oh,
Lego.
that's cute.
Aw.
I like that.
Yeah, I want Barbie to do the same thing. Ben, who's costume?
I
For
think
you.
it's got to be Barbie. I think along with production design, like just the world of that movie, it's so much of it is expressed through those costumes, and some of them are hilarious. Like I don't know, Michael Cera as Alan in that movie looked really funny. And
All Ken's close to
all Ken's clothes fit him, and because all Ken's clothes fit him, you got to give it to Barbie.
You do. Anna?
Yeah, Barbie for Ken's giant coat. And
I am
also,
enough, too.
yeah, that's really good. And also, I know this is not part of the movie, but I have to shout out like the like not costumes, but like the outfits that were made for Margot at all of the premieres and press and full press, all of that stuff. I just thought was so gorgeous. And yeah, I mean, I think you see a lot of similar stuff in the film where even just the opening where you see like all of the different Barbies lined up. I just think like that was so meticulously done, and yeah, I think it's great. I mean, again, not a bad category. I'm overall like a lot of the things in this movie in the category. I'm like these movies have costumes, so I won't be mad, but I am picking Barbie.
Yeah, I agree. I would be, well, I didn't see Napoleon, but I think there's merit to all of these being in this category and potentially winning. Yeah, Vince, how about you?
I'm throwing my chips in with Killers of the Flower Moon. You know, I think you have some great historical attire going there, and I also think everyone's gonna pick Barbie. So I'm gonna get the only point here in this category with Killers of the Flower Moon.
We will see. Lisa?
I'm gonna choose Barbie for The roller skating costumes by themselves.
Good.
Love those ones. They look great.
Alex?
I wish I'd seen Napoleon because there's just like historically speaking, I think there's a lot of like opportunity to have some pretty fab outfits.
Mhm.
But I don't know that the movie takes advantage or not. I mean, just Napoleon's wardrobe alone, I'm sure. But having not seen it, can't pick it because I've seen everything else. And yeah, Barbie.
All right.
Barbie.
Jeanette.
Beginning of the season, I had Barbie marked, and I was gonna change my mind, but
What?
I am to Poor Things, because they're unique and like I think to make something that makes sense in that world that they were building that also elaborates the world and all of that. I think that was really like I've just never seen anything like what they did with her, but it is just her character that they're doing it with, kind of. Everything else is just kind of like funny looking a little bit. So I'm gonna stay with Barbie then.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, Vince, if Killers wins,
I know.
you might be getting
That's
that.
it. The dark horse.
It's yours.
All right. Cinematography.
Cinematography.
Yes. Wait, how do I say it, Alex?
Cinematography.
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 Yeah. So for cinematography, we have Poor Things, Oppenheimer, Maestro, Killers of the Flower Moon, and is it El Conde? I've already
El
said
Conde.
Conde?
El Conde.
Sunday.
So who has seen El Conde? Who can tell me about El Conde?
El Conde is by Pablo Larraín that did Spencer with Kristen Stewart as Diana
Jackie.
and Jackie. He did a great movie called No with Gael Garcia Bernal. This one is about like I think a real dictator. Maybe it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it.
What's his name?
I don't remember what his name is.
Yeah.
But
I'm looking at it.
There's like a supernatural twist to it. Maybe I should.
Ooh, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
I won't.
Oh,
But what I've heard different kind of mixed responses to the
Pinochet.
film.
It's Pinochet.
Oh, it's
I knew
Pinochet.
that.
It's about Pinochet.
Oh.
It's Jeopardy.
Supernatural twist. I've heard mixed things, but everybody seems to agree that the movie looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I can see why it might have gotten the cinematography nom.
All right. So what is your vote, Ben? Since we're in the Ben and Anna Square right now.
My vote is Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer, okay.
Oppenheimer, because did anybody see it in IMAX in the like? Yeah, I mean, I just think it's got that texture, it's got that scale and that scope, and I just
It's got
think
Killian's
that
beautiful blue eyes.
it's got those beautiful blue eyes from Killian. I mean, Maestro's got the beautiful Bradley Cooper eyes, but Killian's are going to win out,
Yeah.
and I'm going to say Oppenheimer.
All right. Anna, how about you?
Oppenheimer. I think it's a gorgeous movie. I think it's everything Ben said. Yeah, it's great. It's Van Hoytema.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Yeah.
Van Hoytema.
It's Hoyt van Hoytema.
Is that the cinematographer?
Hoytema?
What a fun name.
Yeah.
Fun name. Lauren, what are you going for?
I'm going to go for Killers of the Flower Moon. I thought there was a lot of nice cinematography in that. So that's my vote.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the strategic vote is probably Oppenheimer. I do think Oppenheimer is going to win, but I also want to give a vote to Killers of the Flower Moon because I agree. I think it was visually really beautiful. And also it's the same cinematographer who did Barbie. And Barbie would have been my choice for cinematography if I had my way. Take that with a grain of salt because I was not accepted into the upper level cinematography class in film school. So my knowledge of the field is limited. But by proxy, I want him to get an Oscar. So that's my heart vote. There we go. Vince, how about you?
I've got a bit of insider information here.
Tell us.
And at first, I was going with Killers of the Flower Moon because every single shot in that movie is damn near perfect.
Amen.
But then I learned, I got this piece of paper here. One of the films in this category is the first feature film partially shot on the new Kodak 35mm color reversal film stock. and that's Poor Things.
Ooh.
So that's how Poor Things looks so goddamn weird, and it all makes sense. And I think Uncle Oscar is gonna eat that right up. I'm throwing my chips in with Poor Things.
I like that. Okay.
Also, I have another thing here that I wrote down that I forgot about. Matt, at the beginning of this podcast or this episode, you brought up how you don't think Austin Butler is ever going to do anything good again.
No, he won't.
Well, I think that movie coming out where he's a greaser looks really good, and I think that will prove you wrong. It's already out.
No, it should have already been out. It was supposed to come out last year.
No
Strike
kidding.
Distribution stuff.
What is this movie? Is it
Oh,
great?
Bike Riders, Jeff Nichols.
Yeah.
It
And
looks
Tom
great.
Hardy's in
Watch
it,
this
right?
trailer.
It looks really good.
Also,
Okay.
Matt, does it sway you if I tell you that in the TV show Masters of the Air, Austin Butler dances with a dog?
Oh,
His name's
Yeah.
A
Meatball, Matt.
husky named Meatball.
Oh, damn. Okay, never mind.
He's like, "Can I have this dance, Meatball?" And then Meatball's like, "Yes." And then they.
It would be better if it was a meatball named Husky.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Jeanette, with cinematography.
Cinematography. So I have one question. Why is Maestro here? That's
Correct.
Black and white
question.
color.
they do that.
That's impressive, apparently.
I really feel like they took Bradley Cooper like he's a little 7-year-old who like did an art project, and they're like, "Oh, you did so good, buddy! You did all the participation awards. You did so good." Anyway, I just don't see how you watch something like Poor Things up against these other ones and don't go, "Yeah, they did the most." Like, yeah, I don't know. Poor Things is my vote.
All right. Lisa.
I still haven't seen Poor Things. I know.
I know you haven't, because as soon as you do, you're gonna blow my phone up. Like
I
my phone's gonna explode.
I probably
You're
will. I'm gonna trust Vince's technical knowledge and your just like dear love for this film, Jeanette. And I'm going to say Poor Things.
Ooh, we're also so good on this category. I love it. Alex.
Yeah, I really liked Oppenheimer. I really liked the cinematography in Oppenheimer. I did see it, although I full disclosure, I did see it in the whatever it was. What was it? 6.5, 7.5 mm. But I 3.5, whatever it was. But I saw it in a discount IMAX. Matt has a better if Matt remembers. But
you saw it in a Limax.
Yeah, in a Limax. So it was a big screen. It was in the advertised format, like in whatever. It was the exclusive format as per whatever description. But the actual screen itself was not like the most massive IMAX screen. It wasn't like in a full size proper IMAX screen. Still, it was very cinematic, very immersive. I wasn't able to see the whole screen at once because I sat closer to the screen, and. But yeah, I think I'll give it to Poor Things. I think Poor Things it's one of those situations where, kind of like we were saying with the Zone of Interest, where like if you take the sound out of that movie, well, Poor Things, so much of it is those peculiar, distinct visual choices of how to show the visual content of the movie through the various lenses, and without those. It's, I dare say it's a totally different film. So yeah, I pick that.
Nice. All right. Now we're moving into. Let's do Best Supporting Actor. Is there anyone who doesn't think it'll be Robert Downey Jr.? I'm good.
Me, because I haven't. Oh wait, maybe not. Best
Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer.
And I'm
actor in a supporting role.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be Ryan Gosling.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I have Ryan Gosling picked. I
Me
still
too.
stand that Robert Jr. It's like Emily Blunt. I know he's in that movie, but I'm just like, oh yeah, he's in that movie.
His performance was transformative.
No, it was because all his shots were in black and white, guys. Like,
either that, or they just really actually achieved like the real point that they were just a bunch of white guys that all looked the same. You know what I mean?
yeah, true that.
It's also that.
All right, so Jeanette's going for Gosling. Lisa, who's your vote?
Oh, Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, I want that T-shirt. I really want that T-shirt.
I mean, I don't want him to win. I just think he will.
No, I mean, I want Ryan Gosling to win.
Yeah,
because I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think he's gonna win. It's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, Vince, what do you think?
I'm saying Robert Downey Jr., but I rewatched the first half of Killers of the Flower Moon the other day, and I liked De Niro's performance more the second time around after having watched it.
Okay, but you're still voting for Robert.
Still voting for Robert, but De Niro, honorable mention. As if he hasn't gotten enough acclaim over the course of his career.
No, he has. Anna, what do you think?
I wish Charles Melton was nominated, but in his absence, Robert Downey Jr., I think.
Is Charles Melton May December?
Yeah.
So need to see that.
He did a good job. I will say that. Yeah.
He's great. Yeah.
Ben, what do you think?
Matt, this is where I thought that our colleague Matt Johnson's film Blackberry might get a nomination for Glenn Howerton in Blackberry. Yeah, because he had a lot of there wasn't as much momentum as I expected, but there was talk about it. Mm-hmm. And I mentioned this because he still has your hat.
I know.
And he needs to give it back to you.
Yeah.
He mentions it in interviews. He's like, oh, because he's like, oh yeah, my hat on the show, like it's from Matt Yipchuk, and I'm like, give him his hat.
Give me my hat back, Matt.
Yeah.
Or give me a job in one of your movies.
Even better, right?
Exactly.
But no, it's going to be Robbo Downo Joni.
Okay.
Oppenheimer.
Lauren, who's your vote?
I'm going for Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, so
Ryan Gosling.
He's just Ken.
I'm just Ken.
Anywhere else I'd be. Alex?
See, I feel like Ryan should be the lead actor in a leading role because he is the male lead of that movie, is he not? So I mean, on the one hand, I would move him into that category and then vote for somebody else, and I could still do that out of protest. On the other hand, he's probably my favorite choice on this list. Mm-hmm. So, but if I weren't going to pick Ryan, I'd probably pick Mark Ruffalo. So I pick Mark Ruffalo.
Okay.
Nice.
Screw it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling, get in your own lane, buddy.
I hope Mark Ruffalo is watching right now. He's jumping up in his chair.
There's a chance it is.
Somebody voted for me.
I saw an interview with Sterling K. Brown relatively early on, like after he got the nomination, and he just outright said, "I know I'm not winning. I'm just going to enjoy this ride."
Oh yeah,
I do really love him as an actor, though. That's the only one I haven't
that.
seen. It's the only nominated film I haven't seen.
Everything about that movie is like delightfully good. Yeah. Go American Fiction. Enjoy your screenplay, Oscar. That's what I have to say. All right, let's go to direction. So for directing, actually, it doesn't list the names of the directors on my sheet, so I just have to say the movies. Zone of Interest, Poor Things, Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Anatomy of a Fall. Reluctantly, I'm just going to vote for Chris Nolan because do I think it's the movie he should win Best Director for? No, but I feel like this is the moment. This is his moment.
Do you have one, Matt, that he's already made that you're like, he should have won for this?
Well, my husband asked me when I told him that he shouldn't win for this one. And he goes, well, then what one would you have had him win for? And
I would have had him win for
Batman.
Yeah. My personal pick would be Batman Begins, but that's an unpopular opinion. So to vibe more with the consensus, I'd say Dark Knight.
I agree.
Or Prestige, which is my personal favorite of his.
Oh, Prestige, yeah. I gotta see that again. I haven't seen
That is a
it
good
It's a
movie.
fun movie.
What was that?
I
year?
think he should have won for
Yeah.
Inception.
or 6,
No.
2006.
Is that?
Yeah, Inception is a good pick.
Inception
Yeah.
was
As
fine.
far as
think
the
I've seen one.
directing part of it,
Yeah, but
Right.
Inception, I would have picked Fincher for Social Network if we can go back and change that year.
Mhm.
The Finch.
Yeah.
Oh, Social Network was so good. I
Yeah.
wanted Social Network to win all the things that year. I lost my Oscar pool that year because I voted for it for Best Picture, and it didn't win. Was that King's Speech?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Ah,
I liked King's Speech more than Social Network, but yeah.
That year is my Roman Empire, as the kids say.
Yes, agreed. That was such a good year. I think that was also the Toy Story 3 year.
Yeah.
Times. Anyway, Anna, who's your pick for Best Director?
I would love the surprise of Jonathan Glazer winning for Zone of Interest, just because I think it's such an interestingly directed film. In addition to being well directed, I think there's a lot of choices being made that are not the choices we tend to see in movies that win Best Directing Oscars. But I do think it will be Nolan for Oppenheimer, which I'm not mad about. I would also be very happy if Zone of Interest won, or I would be very happy if Killers of the Flower Moon won.
Yeah.
There's some good movies nominated.
Yeah, I'd be happy if Anatomy of a Fall won, actually. But all of them, really. Yeah. I'd be happy for any of these. Actually, Oppenheimer is the one I'd be least happy for, but it has my vote because strategy. So there we are. Ben.
So I think that it feels inevitable that it will be Nolan. I just feel like last year I kind of spread everything out sort of evenly. But this kind of current iteration of the Academy really swept for one thing. It doesn't mean that they'll do it every year, but I just for a lot of the major awards, I see Oppenheimer really impressing the Academy. I'm not a huge Nolan guy. Like, it's rare that I really feel much in his movies, and I think that this film, I mean, I share a lot of taste with my mom, and I think she felt left kind of cold by it and a little bit perplexed by some of the cross cutting, and I was really absorbed by it. I think partially just because I kind of got into an Oppenheimer mode over the summer where I was listening to the audiobook and kind of trying to prep myself for it, and kind of knowing that he took this huge book and sort of distilled it into the story that he did. I think that he just had his style that usually kind of leaves me at a distance. I felt really drawn in by it, and I think this was the one that really hit for me, where I was sitting in a theater in the hot summer of last year.
Yes.
It's a sold out 9:00 IMAX screening, and I'm looking around and it's this sold out screening in this IMAX theater, and most of this movie is hearings and stuff about security clearances and little rooms on this giant screen, and I'm like, oh my god, he kind of stealth made this very weighty, complex movie, but kind of pretended it was this big summer blockbuster, and it ended up becoming one anyway. And so I'm rambling, but I think it's going to be Nolan.
I wish we had you for the Barbenheimer discussion, Ben.
I really regret missing it, because I think that those two movies are the movies of the year. Yeah. You know what I mean? When people think about 2023, it's Barbenheimer.
Just like when people say think of a Barbie, they think of Margot Robbie. A Barbie, yeah. Lauren, who's your pick?
Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things.
Nice.
I just always think he does interesting things with his films.
Yeah. Did you see Dogtooth?
Which one?
Dogtooth with the other Yorgos movie.
No, I didn't.
He made another.
Yeah. That's
one
the other Yorgos movie I think I've ever seen. Is Dogtooth.
I saw The Favorite, and what was the other one?
Killing of the Sacred Deer.
What was it?
There's Lobster Boy or Lobster Man, and there's
Lobster Boy.
I don't know.
I think it's just Lobster.
I think
Lobster was weird to me.
Oh, Lobster.
Yeah, the Lobster.
I mean, Poor Things was weird to me too, but The Favorite I really like. But I just think he's an interesting director.
Nice. Jeanette, who's your pick?
So I'm really super torn between Jonathan Glazer and Yorgos Lanthimos, but I'm going to have to land on Yorgos, where I think Jonathan got it right with the writing and like basically everything else on this film. I don't know if the directing stands out as much to me because it is people just kind of just like living. And I know that takes art, like that takes directing, but Poor Things is just intricate and different, and I think that takes a lot of directing.
All right, Vince.
Yeah, look, I'm going with the Greek guy, Poor Things, Yorgos, because Greece needs a win. God damn it, it's been a long time, and I think he did a spectacular job.
Nice, Alex.
I think So I would have gone with Oppenheimer, but I think I'm going to give it, even though I haven't finished seeing it, I think I will give it to Zone of Interest.
Oh, nice.
I think the half that I've seen, I think the directing rather and directorial choices, if not, put another way, are a big part of that film. So,
all right, Lisa.
For the only woman nominated in this category, I have to give it to Justine for Anatomy of the Fall.
I would be so happy if she won.
Also, like, I remember when it first was like on the festival circuit, she had like a trailer where she was talking about the movie like on Instagram, promoting it. And I just remember not knowing that I would fall in love with the movie, not knowing anything about it. I just remember telling Vince, like, how much I dislike the French. I said such horrible things, and this is the movie that made me fall back in love with the French. So I feel like I owe Justine one for that one reason. So I really hope she takes it home.
What a great reason.
Yeah, I feel so bad. I don't hate the French anymore.
I remember before the nominees came out, the night before, I said, Anna, I'm going to make a prediction to you right now. Cooper for Best Director out, Trier in.
Yes.
In.
Yes.
And I think that there is that's to me is like one where I could see that happening. Like I could see a Trier director happen.
Yeah, I feel because like there's just so much with Poor Things and Oppenheimer. I see that there's like a lot of glitz and glam, and they're both, again, I haven't seen Poor Things yet, but from what I know and what I've seen in Oppenheimer, they're great movies, but there's just such a subtlety that Justine did in Anatomy that I'm such a fan of, and I think like it is such an Oscar move for like that kind of direction to take it home for the year. So we'll see. Yeah.
Right.
Check out Poor Things on Disney Plus if you got it, Lisa. It's out on Disney Plus now in Canada.
Oh,
yeah.
Great. Vince bought it, so I'm gonna watch it on his.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, buy the paid for copy.
Thanks, babe.
Or not buy.
Yeah, you're welcome. You also pay for the Disney subscription, so.
Oh yeah.
So either way, it's being funded by Vince.
Yeah, I really like this movie. Apparently.
Yeah.
All right.
I do. It's a fun movie.
It's yeah. Okay, the final three, the big three: actor, actress, picture. Let's go with Best Actor. I feel like this is maybe an easier thing to predetermine versus actress. So my pick is purely strategic. Not even purely strategic. No, it kind of is. I'm going for Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer just because I think he will win. But also, I just like Cillian Murphy as an actor, and I want him to have an Oscar. For this movie, sure. If I were voting, I would have voted for Paul for The Holdovers because I adored everything about The Holdovers. But it's Cillian. He gets my vote. Alex, who are you voting for?
It's the only one I've seen on the list, so yeah, it has to be Cillian.
Is it Cillian?
I don't know. It looks like Cillian to me, so I'm going to say Cillian.
Cillian Murphy.
Until I hear him say his own name, which I haven't yet.
Yeah.
I refuse to be open to other suggestions.
Okay. Jeanette, who's your best actor?
I said Cillian for years, but I do think it's Killian. But yeah, I'll still say something. But so I guess at the beginning of the year, before I'd seen Maestro, I thought that Bradley Cooper was gonna get it, and now I find that very hilarious. No, Bradley Cooper is not gonna get it.
Didn't you text me like a week ago though, saying that he was like at that point your number one?
Yeah, because I don't know. Nobody on here is thrilling to me. I love Jeffrey Wright, and I'm regretting not seeing that because he's my favorite. Well, I would say he's my favorite actor on this list. So Cillian Murphy is my favorite actor on this list. But yeah, I guess that's why I'm going to give it to him because, like you, I want him to have an Oscar. Are there other movies I like him in more? Yes. But I think he's going to win for it. So there it is.
Yeah. Vince, who's your pick?
I wish we lived in a world where Coleman Domingo would win. Because I remember his humble beginnings. Well, at least the first time I saw him was his comedy relief, the neighbor on Blackish. And I always thought he was the funniest character on the show. And then he goes and he does Rustin, which I didn't know anything about. And I watched it a week and a half ago, and I thought it was pretty good. I think he leaned into the character well, and I think he did a good performance. Maybe it's wrong. I don't know the guy he's trying to portray, right? So I don't know if he was like an overblown character or if he was like going above and beyond. But anyway, I think it's going to be Killian. I'm here to win.
See, I didn't realize. I'm fairly certain Coleman is also the person that I loved in The Color Purple, who I said I wanted to see nominated.
Oh yeah, he is in The Color Purple,
and he was him and Danielle Brooks like carried that movie for me. I loved both of them so much. So I am actually happy to see that he did get an Oscar nomination this year. And he's also going to be playing Michael Jackson's dad in the biopic coming up. So maybe that, I don't know if that's
right on.
Yeah, or maybe that's a TV show.
Are they getting two performers to play Michael Jackson, or what are they doing there?
Yeah, I think like one for when he's a kid and one for when he's an adult.
Ah, yes. So three performers. Are they going to get three performers?
Time will tell.
Okay. Only time will tell.
Only time. I see what you did there. Ben, who's your leading actor?
I think it's going to be Killian. I think it's a really tricky role because I do think Nolan really finds some empathy for J. Robert Oppenheimer, but I think that Killian does a great job of kind of showing that he was like never really able to commit to anything. That guy.
What does the J stand for?
Nothing, right? It doesn't stand for anything. Like, and with everything, with like communism, with sort of his he kind of waffled on stuff, and I think that there's a lot of complexity there, and a lot that he does with his steely baby blue eyes, which we already talked about. So I think I love Giamatti in The Holdovers, and I felt like Giamatti was robbed in 2004 when Sideways came out. I thought he was great in that movie as well. So he didn't get nominated for that. So just to see him get nominated for The Holdovers was fantastic. Jeffrey Wright is great in American Fiction. He's such a delight to watch in that movie. Love Coleman Domingo. Haven't seen Rustin yet. And Bradley Cooper. When I watched Bradley Cooper in Maestro, I always saw Bradley Cooper. I never really saw Leonard Bernstein. I was just like
Leonard Bernstein.
And there are things I like about Maestro, but I wouldn't say that his performance in it was like a real standout thing to me. So it's got to be Killian.
All right, Anna.
Yeah, as much as I think Giamatti should have an Oscar, I have to say Killian as a win for the glorious and proud nation of Ireland, and also because he's really, really good in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, again, give Killian an Oscar. Who's left? Alex. No, I did Alex.
I haven't.
Okay, let's go Lauren. Let's go with Lauren.
I'm going for Coleman Domingo because Bayard Rustin, hello, gay icon. I have to vote for him.
Nice.
Lauren,
getting some love.
You should read the play called The Seat Next to the King, which is all about Rustin and his supposed affair with the guy who was working under Johnston, is that right, Vince?
LBJ, Lyndon
Yeah.
B. Johnson.
Yeah. It's a short play. It's like I
What
think
is
like
it
70
called again?
pages. The Seat Next to the King.
The Seat Next to the King. Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna look that up.
I'll send it to you. Like I'll send you the title because I think you would love it. It's so
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not choosing Domingo. It's Cillian Murphy. I really want that shirt.
Yeah.
I think he did a good job. He did a fine job.
He did.
Yeah.
It's deserving. It's deserving. And also, the Oscars like a historical figure brought to life in a film. I keep forgetting that, like, Oppenheimer was real. Well, I don't forget, but like I think of Bradley Cooper as being the big biopic performance of the year. So I also just have to remind myself, oh yeah, Oppenheimer was also that, plus all the other great things that he did, and the eyes. So
Eyes, yes.
actress in a leading role. This is the one that's like the hot topic of conversation, because seemingly, even statistically, it is neck and neck between the Stones, between Glad and just plain Stone. So our options are Annette Bening in Naiad, which I didn't realize she is like doesn't have an Oscar. I just took for granted and assumed that she did, but she doesn't. So is this the movie that gets it for her because she swam a little bit? Who knows? Gladstone in Killers of the Flower Moon, first Indigenous actress, and I think even first Indigenous performer ever nominated for an Oscar. So that's pretty impressive and pretty great. And also too late, but I'd love to see her win. And also great performance. Sandra Hüller in Anatomy of a Fall. She did so much nuance, so much mystery. Did she do it or did she not? We never know. And her performance could be read either way. And I feel like that's something that is underestimated and undervalued in her expert performance as whatever that character's name was. It doesn't matter because I don't remember. Carey Mulligan. What was it?
Her name's Sandra.
Okay, there it is. See, she was so in character. She named herself for it years beforehand. Carey Mulligan in Maestro. Like the only really good performance in that movie, playing in a range of ages.
If someone doesn't sing in you, nothing sings in you. You can't make music.
She was legit my favorite part of that movie. I thought she was wonderful. And Emma Stone playing everything. Absolutely everything a person can do in a movie, I would say she did in this movie, in Poor Things. The only poor thing is the person who didn't get to witness such a great performance. So there we are. They're all winners, except for 4 of them. So who do we think is going to take it home in this category? Let's start with Lisa.
I want to say Sandra. My crush on Sandra Hüller has grown so tremendously over the last 3 weeks. It's terrible. It's awful. I love her so much, but I don't think she's going to win it. And I'm devastated because I think it's going to be Lily Gladstone, even though she was not the best sick performer. I think Carey Mulligan did the better, like, dying performance, in my opinion. Carey Mulligan plays sick very well. But yeah, I don't know.
We had that discussion on the Maestro chat. Vince proposed it. Yes.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I think like Lily Gladstone's been winning a lot of like the North American awards. I know that like it's been back and forth in Europe between like Sandra. I think Emma got like something. I think she got a BAFTA. I think. So I don't know, because the Oscars is an American award show. I feel like they're gonna stick to Lily. I'm gonna go with Lily.
All right,
one vote for Lily.
Yeah. One vote for the Gladstone.
Yeah.
Alex, which Stone are you voting for, or not a Stone at all? Maybe.
Well, I believe the Stones are the only ones that I've seen. Yes.
Oh, correct. Yes.
This year. So, I don't know. Basically, I've already kind of covered it when we talked about Poor Things, I think. But yeah, I liked Lily Gladstone better than I liked Emma Stone. But
controversy.
The amount of like comparing their screen time, like it's like I liked Lily Gladstone better, but I liked her better because I ultimately liked the movie better, and not that Poor Thing. I like Poor Things a lot as well. But I just liked Killers of the Flower Moon more, and I thought Lily Gladstone, and I was more engaged specifically by her performance, whereas Emma Stone was effectively the entirety of her film. And so, like it or not, like engaged or not, I had I don't know. I felt like I was looking at Lily Gladstone not because I had to, but because I wanted to. Whereas with Emma Stone, they didn't even give me the choice.
Yeah, that's true.
Huh.
And that's not their fault.
No.
That's just the facts at hand.
It is.
I'm going to pick. I don't. Emily Stone.
Did you say Emily Stone?
Mixing both of the names.
Yeah, it is Emily Jean.
Emily G. Stone. Yeah, I'll pick. Oh God, I don't know. It's competing intuitions.
Do you want to come back to you?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to pick. Emma Stone.
Emma Stone. Okay.
Why not?
All right.
I said it. I have to live with it.
You did. Okay. Jeanette?
I mean, Emma Stone. Come on. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Who's that?
What's this?
Who joined us?
Oh my goodness.
This little creature.
She really
beautiful
jumped
goat.
up there.
He's gonna give
Introduce
this
us.
one
What's
as
the
well.
name?
His name is Bernard.
Oh, Bernard.
Hi, Bernard.
Hi, Bernard.
Oh, Bernard.
Oh.
How old is Bernard?
He thinks he's a lap dog.
Oh.
He just
Is
hops
he a
in that
puppy?
lap whenever he wants. What?
How old is he?
He's about 3.5 years old.
Aw.
Lauren, will you give Bernard a treat for us?
Yeah.
I think he deserves one because he's really good.
Oh, he's trying to give puppy kisses.
Oh. Lauren, is he named after the rescuer?
Yep.
Nice.
Ah.
Aw,
So, Lauren, who is Bernard voting for?
Who's what?
Who is Bernard going to vote for Best Actress?
He's gonna vote for Lily Gladstone because he
Yeah, he
likes
is.
diversity.
Bernard.
Woo! Right? Right? Tell everybody.
Yes, he does. Oh, he's such a good boy. I wish I could get Eliza on the show, but she would scratch me a lot. Anyway, so good. Anna, who's your vote?
So I should say, I feel like maybe there's something about Carey Mulligan that just like doesn't connect with me because I like I don't think she's like terrible in Maestro, but nothing really did anything for me.
Nothing sings in you.
Yeah, and this is so okay. My little spiel is I think Margot should have been nominated instead of Carey Mulligan, but the way that people talk about why Margot should have been nominated, I really disagree with. So I kind of end up in this weird position because I think Margot should be there simply because I think her performance in Barbie is better than Carey Mulligan's performance in Maestro. But I think that when people act like her snub is like this big devastating thing, I think it's a really unfortunate way of talking about that movie and talking about her work. Because if you look at Margot's career, she got into producing very early. She's done a lot of work as a producer. A lot of what she's talked about with like the press tour for Barbie is her work as a producer, working with Mattel, explaining why they were doing what they were doing, getting the movie made was like it's the thing that she's been emphasizing whenever people ask her about this movie. So I think the fact that she's nominated as a producer, I think if you were to ask her what means more, it's her work as a producer.
Yes.
I think it's funny, especially that it's Barbie, because at the end of Barbie, the whole thing is for Barbie. She wants to be the thing that creates not the thing that is created.
Yes.
There's just no way that being nominated as a producer means less to Margot Robbie than had she been nominated as an actor.
Yeah.
That said, I think her performance is really good, and I wish she was here.
Mhm.
Even if she was, I would still pick Lily Gladstone, who I think is amazing.
I agree with everything you just said, Anna.
One hundo.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's really
Oh, thank you for that speech. Almost better than America Ferrera's.
Bounds better than America Ferrera's speech.
Wow, the hate on America Ferrera's speech.
I actually love
Me-
America.
You're right.
I cannot.
I loved her.
I cannot fathom that America Ferrera is nominated. I just don't.
Why?
Oh,
Her
it was a good
acting was
performance.
so mediocre in that
It was
movie.
just-
It was
She's a
perfectly
mediocre
matching
woman.
the level of the movie, Jeanette.
But
I
Jeanette,
agree
that's
with
the whole point, though.
think
She
you
is
removed
a
that.
mediocre woman in the movie. I think that's how she succeeds.
Maybe you're right.
normal
maybe.
Barbie.
If I had
Just wake
teenage
up feeling
sons,
good about herself.
I'd show my non-existent teenage sons Barbie in that speech, and I'd say, "Listen to this."
Listen up, kids.
I would.
I think my daughter disliked the movie about as much as not dislike. I like it. That's the thing. I think we were both equally as like ho hum about it.
It's interesting that Barbie is like, it's mostly this product generally that's geared towards young kids, and the movie kind of speaks to almost everyone except really young kids. Like I think
Well,
it's
they have animated Barbie.
they've had the animated ones, but yeah, it's an
Yeah.
interesting thing that like how
I love that and more modern Barbie animated series. I think it does a little bit of a better job with this message than the movie did. But
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only seen the Barbie Nutcracker, and it was surprisingly good. In fact, I would go as far as to say it's the best Nutcracker movie. The bar
Should
is
be nominated for best.
low. Could have been, or best animated at least. But Ben, who's your best actress?
My best actress is, I think it's like you said, Matt, between Gladstone and Stone. I thought Emma Stone, the way that she calibrates that performance in Poor Things, because when you think about movies and how they're completely shot out of sequence, the way that Bella's character evolves through that movie and where she starts and where she ends, and the way that Emma Stone was able to track that development out of sequence is like pretty astonishing. I think it's like one of her best performances.
Yeah.
I think that the Academy is, because they gave her an Oscar with La La Land a few years ago, and because Lily Gladstone is really excellent in Killers of the Flower Moon, I think it's going to go for Gladstone this year.
Yeah.
And I think it's very well deserved. There's some debate about how much of a lead performance or supporting performance I feel like that is with some people, but I think that it will be a really well received win if she gets it.
Yeah.
So.
I will say, as much as I'm not crazy about Poor Things, I think what works in that movie works because of Emma Stone's performance. I think she's really good. And yeah, I think if she didn't already have an Oscar, I think it might be a little bit of a tougher call, but I think just the fact that she does, it's hard for me to say that she should win over Lily Gladstone.
Yeah.
Because I also think this is like a performance that, you're not going to see a lot of, like something like this role or someone like Lily Gladstone. I just think she should win. Any way you look at it, yeah.
Margot should have been nominated for Babylon. She was great in that. Anyway,
I thought that movie even happened.
most people.
We're the only two that love it in the whole entire world.
Isn't it really long, that movie?
It is,
But
yeah.
it's great.
It feels like Damien Chazelle is trying to torpedo his own career with that movie, and it's a fascinating watch for that.
The only reason I remembered it existed was because there was something recently, an article of him saying he can't get a lot of funding now because of Babylon.
I think that makes total sense. And when you watch Babylon, you'll know that he's like, I'm never going to have this again. I might as well just end it here. It really feels like that. It feels like he is like ringing like the death bell for himself in a kind of amazing way. And it's a really entertaining watch too. But anyway, that's a different year's movies. But
That's a different year.
yeah.
Check it out. Vince, who's your leading actress?
Well, look, a lot of you guys don't know this, but I spent the better part of my early 20s studying acting at Juilliard. And that's where they told me that don't give me that look. You know it's true. So, and that's where they told me, listen, Vince, anyone can play cancer, but it takes a real pro to do diabetes. And that is why I am picking Lily Gladstone. Why is everyone laughing? I don't get
That
it.
was what I said when we talked about the better sickness. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's a lot harder to play diabetes than it is to play cancer.
Absolutely. It's far more esoteric, you know? Like everyone's seen someone play cancer. And Emma Stone, like it's a good performance, but what did she do? She watched Miracle Worker a few times and called it a day. So look, Lily Gladstone killed it. I will tear every other one of these competitors down for Lily Gladstone. The Oscars owes this to Lily Gladstone for what they did for to fucking the person who accepted Marlon Brando's award back in the day. They grievously mistreated her.
Oh yeah. Well, also apparently she was a pretender. So
wait, was it Buffy St. Marie?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Anyway, I think Lily Gladstone deserves this on merit and circumstance.
Thank you for that soundbite, Vince.
No problem.
That was a great monologue.
That will probably be turned into a YouTube short. On
I
this
love
channel.
it. Perfect.
That will be the moment.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yep, me too.
Tag me.
I will. Let's see. Do I want to make this choice that makes the most sense, or do I want to throw a wild card? Whatever. Sandra Hüller gets my vote.
Woo!
Yes.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Vote for Sandra.
I gotta tell you, my choice would be a lot harder if she was nominated for Zone of Interest.
Oh,
I kind of liked her more in that one than I did in Anatomy of a Fall, but she's more of a pivotal point in Anatomy of a Fall. I guess she's still a very crucial character in Zone of Interest, but I don't know. I liked her acting in there more.
Have you guys seen Tony Erdmann?
No, what's Tony Erdmann?
Sandra Hüller, she's so good in it.
We talked about it really briefly on the Anatomy of a Fall episode.
Did we?
Yeah, she plays this woman whose dad loves to do pranks.
She's this very like uptight businesswoman whose dad is an agent of chaos, and he tags along on a business trip and like kind of disrupts her life, but in ways that she probably needs. And it's really good, and it's really funny, and it's really German, and yeah, she's great.
It sounds like a better version of that, what's his face? Seth Rogen and Barbara Streisand movie.
Oh yeah, The Guilt Trip. I was trying to remember the name of that. It's
sounds like a much better version of that.
Yeah,
it's great. I cannot recommend it enough.
It will show you that
especially if you like Sandra Hüller.
Germans can be funny.
She's so good.
That's hilarious.
Really good.
Tony Erdmann, check it out.
Yeah.
Tony Erdmann.
Tony with an I.
Tony, okay.
Tony with an I. Oh, yeah.
I think at one point it might have been on Netflix, actually.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
Extra points for easy access.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. It's worth the rental if it's rental only.
Okay.
I'm so happy that this season has introduced me to her just as an actor.
Yeah.
Me too, Matt.
You shared her on your story the other day on Instagram.
Yeah, and I share a lot of dreams with the many people across the world. Anyway, it's fine. I'm just so in love with her. She's like in the same league as Cate Blanchett to me now. Like I will do anything for this woman. I will do anything for this woman.
I'm not quite there yet, but I'm a fan.
Nobody should be there yet.
Kids, don't be like me.
Don't be like me. This is not Yes.
Okay, we've made it. It's Best Picture time.
Is
Yay!
it?
Yay!
Wow. We have Zone of Interest. The movie where sound drives the interest into the zone. Once more, we have Poor Things, and I maintain those who do not see this movie are poor.
Are the real Poor Things.
They are. I don't actually believe that, but it's a good log line. Past Lives. It's a movie you can watch across all of your lives and still have all the feels. Oppenheimer, the movie that blew up movie going last summer, among other things. Maestro. Killers of the Flower Moon, the historical epic directed by Martin Scorsese, featuring Oscar favorite loser Leonardo DiCaprio. The Holdovers, a beautifully heartwarming Christmas film, a gorgeous period piece. If I had it my way, well, I wouldn't vote for it to win Best Picture, but I plan to watch this in my Christmas movie rotation because it's just such a lovely, heartwarming film. Barbie, the best movie of the decade. Anatomy of a Fall. Yeah, that happened in American Fiction. I'm out of anything to say. I'm voting Barbie. I don't think it's going to win. I want it to, and also everything that Anna said about Margot as producer, the win being more meaningful. It would make me so happy if it did win. And I feel like maybe there's a world where it could win just because of what it did for the industry with making people excited to go to the movies again. It's the first big event movie we've had in so long. I can't think of another time when I've seen so many people dressed up for a film as I did people dressed in pink to go see Barbie. And even by merit of the fact that it was hard to get a ticket to even like a 9 p.m. Tuesday evening show 2 weeks into the run is such a testament to public interest and what it did for the industry. So I want to believe that it could win. And even if it doesn't, it gets my vote. So there we go. Barbie.
Pull an Argo situation.
What was the Argo situation?
They didn't nominate Affleck and then it won Best Picture.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
So maybe it will. Lauren, what's your Best Picture vote?
Well, I should vote for Past Lives because that had me all in my feels, and it's Asian. But I am voting for Barbie because I just enjoyed that movie quite a bit. And I think it should win.
Agreed. I agree. Preach to the choir. Woot. Ben.
Yeah.
Couple quick things I want to say in this last category real fast. So one is I think this is a fantastic series of films for Best Picture. I think it might be the best in several years. Like looking at the whole list, I'm like, there's solid stuff.
Last time.
Yeah, 2019 had some really good stuff. There was a mix of stuff. But anyway, so I'm really thrilled about the year in movies. Also, I think that the last couple years since Coda in 2020 for 2021, that was a summer released movie, and Everything Everywhere came out in the spring nationwide. And then I think that it's going to be Oppenheimer for Best Picture, which was a summer movie. And it makes me wonder if the Oscar season now, in terms of Best Picture, is kind of, maybe we're past it, because now a lot of these movies that are, kind of winning these big awards are they're coming out all over the, different times of the year. So I think, I don't know why I mentioned that. Oh, and the last thing is that what was great about this year with Barbenheimer specifically was that the only reason that those movies came out on the same day, and you guys might have talked about this in your episode, was that Nolan left Warner Brothers because he didn't like how they treated his last movie, Tenet, and put it on streaming and the way they went about it. And so he went to Universal to make Oppenheimer, and Warner Brothers was like, you know what, Chris, we're going to spite you, we're going to put Barbie out on the same exact day, and we're going to take your box office from you. Wow. And what they ended up doing was the most brilliant counter programming they could have possibly come up with, where these movies held each other. They were completely different movies, but putting them out the same day, they made it into an event. And it reminded us of back when, when we were all younger, all kinds of movies came out every week. And now, the industry has shifted so much. And so it's exciting to get this kind of, these big movies, same day, completely different. So I was just kind of thrilled, like you guys, to see that happen, and it was very heartening because I was worried, especially, since COVID, like, how is this industry ever going to kind of like kick back into a place of, people being really excited to go to the movies, because everybody goes, oh, you can watch everything at home. Everything's on streaming and blah, blah, blah. So the theatrical experience, seeing movies with people is beautiful. And I hope we all continue to do it. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Like Maestro right now.
I'm like conducting like Maestro, and I'm going to conduct that. I think that Oppenheimer is going to win Best Picture. That's all I want to say.
Oh, again, I wish we had you for Barbenheimer, but also you summed it up so beautifully.
That was really good.
Anna, what's your vote?
Oppenheimer, both because it's great and also what it signifies for the industry.
Nice. Alex?
Well, for Best Picture, my thoughts tend to go towards, to attempt to think of a movie in this sort of supremely comprehensive way and attempt to consider every component of it all, the whole greater than the sum of its parts, and what is that, arbitrarily assigned number. And then I also think to the, what I took away from the movie or what I identify as the main sort of theme, right? And that's where when I think of past Best Pictures and I think of why I appreciated them, a big component of it tends to be, what is this movie saying artistically? What is it saying? What is it saying to audiences? What is it saying about humanity, the world, art, etc.? And on that front, it's between Oppenheimer and Zone of Interest.
Okay.
I think from the movie, I've only seen 5 of the 10 films on this list. And of the 5, those are the 2 ones that I think have the most important message as pieces, as films. And even though I haven't seen Zone of Interest completely, my intuition is telling me that the message in Zone of Interest is slightly more important than the one in Oppenheimer, even though the one in Oppenheimer I think is supremely important as well. I think the Zone of Interest theme that I've identified thus far speaks to something kind of even more fundamental about people. So on that basis, I would vote for Zone of Interest for Best Picture, but I haven't seen it,
Okay.
so that's disingenuous.
Yeah.
So I pick Oppenheimer.
I liked it. I like that. That was good. I think that was your best bit yet, Alex. That was great.
Also, it's fun. Like I'm writing down initials for all of you for all of these, and sometimes they spell words. So right now it says Oppenheimer bat, which I just find. Lisa, what are you going for?
Okay. The heartbeat. Okay. The heartbeat of every movie should be the thing that is taken into consideration for deciding this. And the heartbeat that's the strongest for me that I love so dearly is Past Lives. But I'm not playing with my heart here. I'm playing with my mind.
Yes.
and I'm split because I can see the Academy doing what it always does, voting for the Oppenheimer and like that being what it is. But I can see them being all like meh, 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 Barbie. And I agree with Anna in the fact that Margot Robbie's producing of Barbie is show-stopping. Like, as a theater producer, I understand that hustle. I wish I had that budget. We'll probably never see a budget like that in my life, but I'm split. I'm like, I don't know. What could it be? Oh boy. I think it's gonna be Barbie. I have a good feeling it's gonna be Barbie. I think it's gonna be Barbie, and I think Margot Robbie's gonna be redeemed.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Vince is also voting Barbie.
No, Barbie's not happening. Listen, like everyone else here, I know in my heart of hearts that Past Lives is the best film of the year. But my heart of hearts has never been correct. Like last year, I thought Women Talking was a shoo-in for Best Picture. Just because RRR was not on the ballot, right? So by default, Women Talking wins. And I know they're very different films, but anyway, I'm always wrong here. I think Oppenheimer is going to take it. I'm putting my vote in Oppenheimer. Let's do it. In it to win it. Hey, can I also predict that the Oscars, is there a special category for predicting how the Oscars will be disrupted this year?
Yes, that's the last thing we're gonna do.
Okay. I've said my piece then.
Jeanette.
I mean, I'll make it short and simple. I'm voting for Poor Things. I think that the pieces are there, and I don't know. I was the only one that didn't just automatically go, yeah, Oppenheimer's like, I don't know. Everybody I talked to is like, oh, Oppenheimer's gonna get it. I'm like, that hadn't even occurred to me that was some sort of like resounding conclusion. So yeah, you know, and you know me, if Saltburn was up, I would say Saltburn. So if we want to talk about snubs, okay.
I know.
Not a single nomination.
I know. It's a disgrace.
So they say. But again, throw the baby with the bathwater.
Thousands of tiny little babies in the bathwater.
And now it's time for the bonus round. Oh, did someone say oh?
Oh no, I was just reacting to the bathwater.
So in lieu of a game for tonight, we are just going to do a go around, and everyone, I need you to submit your prediction for what you think the big outrageous upset or infamous moment of the 2024 Oscar ceremony will be. Something comparable to the Will Smith slap, something comparable to the wrong movie being announced for Best Picture, something comparable to, what would we say last year's was? I think it was either Angela Bassett losing, because that had a big uproar after the fact, or that lady who wore the big dress that blocked everyone's view.
I think it was that. Yeah.
I feel like it was Dressgate.
Yeah, Dressgate.
Yeah. I think mine will be a tie for Best Actress between the Stones.
Wow. When's the last time?
Really? That happened?
Shit.
Yeah,
Sometimes it happens.
It has happened.
Sometimes ties happen.
I think the last
Why
time
do they have an even amount of voters? Why would you do that?
It was the last Oscar tie in the Best Actress category. It was like Barbara Streisand and
Catherine Hepburn, I think.
So what happens? Is it like a RuPaul's Drag Race and there's a double crown, or like is there like a? It's
Do they both get an award?
lip sync?
They both
Do they
get
have
an
to
award.
lip sync?
Yeah. Oh my God! Could we have a lip sync for your life between Lily Gladstone and Emma Stone?
It's actually that would be funny because like they're
Please.
apparently very good friends now, and like I think they would kill it.
Your
I
name's
think
still
so.
on the names now?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So I'm voting for tie. Lauren, what is your prediction for?
I want to say Gosling flubs his lines.
Ooh.
Crime just
I don't want him to, but this is my prediction.
Na be a 10.
Ben, what are you locking in for your prediction?
My prediction is that Snoop, the dog that everyone loved from Anatomy of a Fall, is going to hump Cillian Murphy's leg when he accepts Best Actor.
Wait a minute. Is Snoop Dogg in the movie, or is this another dog?
No.
A dog named Snoop.
Okay.
And
My
he's just
prediction is
gonna-
that Snoop Dogg
not-
will hump Snoop the dog while
the important
Snoop Dogg
thing.
is humping Cillian Murphy.
He's not going to react. He's just going to like push through it. Cillian. He's just going to push through, going to make a very dignified speech, but Snoop's going to be up there having
his
run
movie.
up the stage. It's going to happen.
Okay, I like that. Anna?
I'm gonna say Bradley Cooper shows up wearing the Maestro nose, or in a repeat of the Son of Saul incident, if Zone of Interest wins anything, they play it off with Wagner.
Did that happen? God. Oh man.
So I don't know if that one counts, if it'd just be the
That's
same thing happening
That's
again.
crazy.
But I would not be surprised.
All right, Alex. Or was Alex your thing? Snoop the dog humping Snoop Dogg humping?
No, we got that backwards, but that was a joke thing. My real thing. Who's the host?
Jimmy Kimmel.
Kimmel.
The new Billy Crystal.
All right.
Essentially, the guy they
My
elected.
prediction is that he will make a joke apropos of the Will Smith slap thing, and it will fall on, and nobody will laugh.
Okay.
That's a safe bet. Nobody ever laughs at Kimmel's jokes.
True.
Ooh, I got an idea of another one.
Oh, what?
Kimmel shows up in Barbie drag.
Who does?
And
Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, I can see that.
I like that. All right. Lisa.
Okay, I'm looking at the presenters list, and like, so like, I don't know who, like, because like that's a surefire guess of like.
There's a
who's
list
gonna
of
be there.
presenters.
Yeah, on their Instagram, on the Academy's Instagram, and like, I just like, I don't like Meryl Streep's not a confirmed presenter, but she usually is there. So like, I want her to be there because there's just like running joke where like Meryl Streep beats up her like fellow actors. Like Jodie Foster and Jennifer Lawrence said something like that like a few years ago, I think at the SAG Awards. Anyway, I actually want Meryl Streep to like rush the stage and like actually beat up somebody.
Okay.
I think that would be hilarious.
I agree.
Know what actually happen. Okay. But like for the joke, for like the longevity of the joke, I would love that to happen. But I think the other option is that like one of like the old women that are presenting, like Rita Moreno or like Jessica Lange, they'll have like a senior moment and forget to say something, or they'll say something like not appropriate, and everyone will be like, "Oh, old lady racism."
Okay, I'm gonna write down old lady racism.
Dragging Rita Moreno into this.
Yes. Hey,
poor Rita.
Rita can be racist. She could be ableist. She could be anything. We don't know.
Oh, actually, maybe I'll add to mine someone conflating or mixing up Cheetah Rivera and Rita Moreno's movie In Memoriam.
Oh boy!
Yikes!
I was gonna say, you know what would be good is a Meryl Streep Martin Short hard launch.
Oh my God, Anna! Yes, yes.
I feel like that could actually happen.
We want Grandma and Grandpa to get together now. Yes.
I've named like 4 things. I need to.
Martin and Meryl
hard launch.
Yeah.
Are there rumors?
Yeah. They've been going
There's
on.
pictures.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know, it'd be so good. That would be like the best case scenario of everything that's been named.
Agreed.
Then we're all winners, really.
We are. Yeah.
Jeanette, what's your prediction?
I think that someone is gonna make a Nazi joke, and then they're gonna pan to the Germans, and they're not gonna be laughing.
No, not Sandra.
It's just very likely that there will be Nazi jokes flying around if they're going that direction. Just being that Oppenheimer and Zone of Interest are both award-nominated films. So.
Okay. Vince?
I believe that there will be an act of civil disobedience performed by either an actor or a group of people storming the Academy in support of a certain region in the Middle East that starts with a P. I don't know if I say it, it'll demonetize the video.
Don't say it.
Not gonna say it. I already said a bad P word last week. Not gonna say it this week. I can't say it, babe.
I could say it, but I won't.
Please text it to me.
I'll text it to you. Anyway,
I think that word will also get you flagged.
It'll put me on a list.
Yeah,
it's a combination.
Oh wait, I know what.
It's not a.
So I think there will be civil disobedience with a political agenda, and it'll be great to watch because true colors will be shown. I know that's not funny. I'm just saying.
Hey,
it'll be upsetting.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have everything written down.
I wish somebody would Kanye to somebody else's Swift about Barbie, about Margot and Greta not nominated, and like get up there and be like, yeah, just hold on. Let me just tell you why
Chris Rock will slap Will Smith this year.
He's been working out for 2 years.
No.
I think Will Smith can't come back for 5 years.
I think you're right.
5 or 10 years. Yeah.
5 years.
It'll happen outside.
Catch me outside.
in the parking lot.
It will happen 100 meters from the academy.
Like they're in Karate Kid or something.
Imagine having that clean of like a public image on the biggest night of your life
When you're about to win an Oscar.
About to win an Oscar. Doing that, I'll never understand it, but there you go.
Well, he was defending his wife.
And then your marriage falls apart within 2 years.
Oh my god.
But he was Genie in live action Aladdin. So
And they
It's
can't
the
take that
worst
away
thing
from
he
him.
ever did.
Everything else, sure, not that.
no. All right, well, we made it to 3.5 hours, everyone.
Just like Killers of the Flower Moon.
I know.
Just like what was it? Production, cinematography, editing, best runtime.
Editing best.
Best friend time.
Well,
Well,
I have nothing else to say. Thank you, everyone. This was so much fun. This is
It's
as
been
I
a pleasure.
said, one of my favorite nights of the year on the channel, and I'm so excited to see who wins. I can really see it going in so many different directions. But everyone, have a wonderful Oscar night. Feel free, jump into our group chat. If you're not in it, I can add you. And yeah, live commentary. But whoever wins gets a T-shirt. Woot! So very excited.
and there may
Yeah.
be some post.
Oh, go ahead, Alec.
Well, Lauren, come on, let's please. Please,
I'll-
first.
All I was going to say is that if I win, that will be the biggest Oscar upset.
That's right. That's right. And apropos of that, Lauren, I was just going to mention that there may be a post-Oscar thing that happens in this world.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
after the Oscars. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That has been thrown around. We'll discuss off air, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And maybe the post Oscar thing will
There might be a crowning of the victor.
What?
You know, a metaphorical
A
crown.
Yeah,
crowning.
of course,
You
of
know.
course, of course.
Yeah.
Well, now we're just gonna do a quick go around, everyone. Sign off with tell us what you took away from this Oscar season. What did you learn about yourself, about the art of filmmaking? Yeah, and then also you could tell people what you want them to know about you. I'm tired. It's been 4 hours. Okay. Let's start with Jeanette.
Hey, I want you to know my name's Jeanette, and that you can find me here on Teacup for One, now and always. And on We Like Theme Parks podcast, new episodes on Thursdays. So today, you should go check it out. And we're doing March Madness, the animatronics. Go vote. Those will be up this weekend. And I learned that that Saltburn should have been nominated. That's what I know.
Nice. Well said.
See ya.
Lisa.
Sorry, Jeanette, you're just so funny. I'm Lisa. That's what you should know. And what was the question?
The question was what did you take away from this Oscar season, either about what like anything about your taste in films, about what you think makes a good film?
Yeah, the controversial statement is that if Christopher Nolan can make a film, so can I. Good night.
That's true.
It's true.
That's absolutely true.
You can follow me at Lisa_A_Alves on Instagram. Right now, I'm only posting about theater stuff in Toronto. Maybe I'll post about other things. Who knows? But I'll see ya when I win this T-shirt.
Yeah, you will. Lisa. Okay. Vince, it's you now.
Hey, folks. I'm doing an uncomfortable close-up in honor of Yanis, the Greek guy. I forget his name.
Yorgos.
Yorgos. Oh, what a good guy. Anyway, in honor of Poor Things, I'm doing this funny little shot here. What I learned is that Poor Things is the first feature partially shot on Kodak 35 millimeter color reversal film stock. So that's cool. You can find me at Only Time Will Tell on YouTube. Growing less popular on TikTok, but I'm working on that. And Instagram's always sucked for me. But anyway, have a great night, everyone.
Thank you, Vince. Okay. It's you, Lauren.
Hello, I'm Lauren. And let's see, what did I take away? That I like Pink, apparently, because I liked Barbie a lot.
Woo, Barbie.
I think that I don't know. I think that was a great film. I mean, I don't think my tastes have changed or anything like that. Um, I wish it was a more diverse group this year. But it was a good amount of films, and I felt good snubbing Oppenheimer and all of my things.
I felt good about that too, Lord.
You can I'm with Castles, Caves, and Clones, which is my Disney channel. But you can also reach me on Instagram with my just Lauren Javier, or on Threads if you want to know me, like more of my non-Disney me, which is on Threads, same Lauren Javier.
Awesome. So good to have you again, Lauren.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be back.
Love you. Bye. All right. Ben and Anna, Banana.
Thank you for having both of us. This is
Yeah.
Anna's first
This is a
real
treat.
time on the show. So thank you for letting us both make these predictions, Matt. It's always a pleasure to be on your channel. I learned this year that the movies are back. People said the movies that they weren't gone, but you know that movie going was down. It's back up. People want to see good movies. They want to see good movies together. I also learned that in Canada there was a national shortage of buttery topping at Cineplex theaters nationwide.
What?
Which was pretty shocking. Not just butter, but buttery topping. And to me, that symbolized that people were coming to the theaters again in droves. I also want to remind everybody that the Oscars start an hour earlier this year. So they usually start at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Set that clock. Well, you're going to be setting it forward. Also, this is the other thing to remember. The clocks are going to be set forward for daylight savings time on Sunday, March 10th with the Oscars, but the Oscars are going to start an hour earlier. So they're going to feel like an hour. I guess it's going to feel like the same time, but it's going to be an hour earlier.
Your pets are going to be confused at dinner time.
You can find me at It's Ben Gordon. Hi, Abby, on Twitter and on Instagram.
I'm Anna. You can find me on Instagram at Anna Swanson. And I learned that all of Ken's clothes fit Alan. Good night, everybody.
Wait, where can you
Oh God. I thought, you know what? It's interesting. It's interesting how they do the Oscars like for the previous year. So late into this year. I mean, I know it's still the beginning of this year in a manner of speaking, but it also seems so long ago, like Barbenheimer seems so long ago. And the consequences is that, unfortunately, as opposed to, Ben's lovely optimism about cinema and theater, unfortunately, I'm not there, Matt.
No, you're not.
I'm down.
You are.
I'm down when it comes to theater. I mean, like
theater. You mean cinema?
Yeah, movie theaters. I know theater's great. I'm seeing shows like, whew,
yeah,
whew.
Yeah, woo.
Like every other day, I'm seeing something. Theaters.
Yeah, lots of theater.
I love the theater.
Yeah, but not the cinema, not the movie theater though.
But the movie theater. I share the sentiment. I love going.
I feel like you have it's complicated relationship with the movie theater.
Well, my complicated relationship is that I just feel like, and Ben talked to this, spoke to this earlier, where it's like when I was younger, movies coming out every week, like going to the theater was like a very frequent occurrence.
Well, Barbie gave that back to us. That's why it's your favorite.
Well, but Barbie gave us one. I mean, in our case, it gave us like 3 days or some crap like
Well,
that.
it gave us lots of disappointment because movie theaters kept breaking.
Well, but we never, like, we always saw something, like, every time we tried, you know.
I guess.
We never like, you know, we never failed to make a night out,
Right.
you know, at the movies when we wanted to. Lisa Wade. Anyway, yeah. So it's an interesting. It's a, you know, it's there's this almost ambivalence, if you will, you know. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, there will be more to discuss. There will
Yeah.
be more to discuss, but
Yeah.
in the interest of not hitting the 4-hour mark, let's do the fun thing. Let us sign off. Thank you, everyone, for watching. He has been Alex. I have been Matt, and this has been the Tea Cup for One.
Well, figuratively
Teapot
speaking.
Teapot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy Oscars, everyone. Cheers. How?
Just to the left.
How do you end
Just
this?
you just twist it. Just
Okay.
twist